This was revenge, I hear everyone. Hi guys, welcome to the Tavern of Theories. We are talking about Downfall, episode 1 and 2. If you're not familiar with Downfall, it's a Critical Role short format D&D thing. I'm not alone, so I don't have to stumble through the whole intro here. We actually have Patch back, and Sasha is here too, so let's just swap over to our guests so they can introduce themselves. There they are, pretty as always. I'll just hand it over to you guys before we get into the... I have a lot of things to talk about with you guys, and you have even more. So, okay, who wants to start? Do you want to do rollies so we have a little bit of D&D?
Oh, fuck, I need some dice.
Roll me a D20, or should we do a D100? What's a 10, Patch?
I have playing with fire, gonna get burnt.
Okay, right, D20. D20. Off you go. 5.
I got a 2. Welcome back to Patch.
I rolled my pike dice because I was like, oh, it's Calamity, like it's Aeor, Downfall with the Everlight. I'm gonna roll my pike dice, but no.
I rolled the antagon. Wait a second. I have an 8, so yes, I started. Now, Sasha.
Hello, I am Sasha. You can find me on socials at The Rambling Lobster on TikTok and The Weird Lobster everywhere else, because usernames are fun. And I like confusing Sarah. And yeah, I'm really excited for today. I have a lot. Last week I was excited and I talked to you guys about my spreadsheet and more character control, figuring it out, and I figured out so much with the last episode, so I'm really excited for today to present all the math to you guys, because I'm the spreadsheet math nerd. Let's go.
Hey, I turned into a nerd. I know by the outfit Taylor Swift wears now which concert it was, only because I watched a couple of TikTok videos. Okay, over to Patch. I don't want to be that kind of nerd. All right, Patch, go.
Dear. Oh, hey gang, it's me, Patch, back from my leave of absence. It's your ever humble DM. Happy to be here to talk some Critical Role Downfall. Law, dive deep and dive in. Dodge, dip, dive, dodge. I don't know.
Deep and dub. Should we do some beat?
Okay, I had some time away and I'm back now. So let's just see what happens. That's me.
Wow, that was great. If you want to see our Dungeon Master tomorrow live in action, join us when Sasha, aka Renee, and me, aka Pai, make his live a hell, I guess. I don't know. But he sent us to hell, so yeah, we can certainly try. All right, so we have a lot of things to go through, and this episode wasn't that long, but we know a lot of things now. We don't know everything, but a lot. So I would say let's switch over to the bingo real quick. We had some discussions. This is what we have so far. We had debates because, for example, the sleeper agent Eormaton, I can speak, let me drink my energy. Activation, it is correct, it didn't happen because we were thinking like FCG or whoever, just some random robot running around that gets activated like uprise of the robots, kind of, right? So that was the thought behind that thing. But on the other hand, we do have someone there, and they have been kind of a sleeper agent. You know, they're fully aware, and it's happening. But technically, they're all sleeper agents. I mean, the mortal avatars, they've just been waiting for this moment.
I mean, yes, technically, by definition, they are a sleeper agent, but the reason we haven't crossed off... Technically... the reason we haven't crossed off this specific square is because when we wrote the bingo, we intended this square to be the Eormaton uprising, or some lore about that. So that's why we haven't crossed it off, and we won't cross it off unless we see some stuff today in this week's episode. You know, like maybe.
Okay, so
I have a feeling we will.
Yeah, okay. For the people who are rewatching this, it's Tuesday currently. The next episode is on Thursday. For us on Friday. Not for Sasha, but for us. We're always living in the future, so is it Friday yet? My question for you two is a little bit, and I think when we meet, not if, we meet in the future, the person that's winning has to do something for the other two. Just because we're switching it around, like, hey, I give you out whatever, ice cream or something. It doesn't matter. Let's keep it friendly. So what do you think how long the episode will be?
This week's episode? Ooh.
Yep.
Okay, wait, before we guess, what are the rules of who will win this bet?
The person closest.
We do closest without going over, or do we just do closest?
No, just closest. Just closest. Great. And I think normally, because it's like the losing party would have to give something. Let's do it the other way around. The person winning invites the other two for something, okay?
Okay, is that cool? I like that. The winner, yeah, I like that. Hold on. Let me think about that. We know for sure it's gonna be long, right?
It is long. He said it's gonna be very
chunky. I believe.
I think the word was chunky, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I think currently we are at like 2.5, 3 hours. I can't remember. Need to open
most of the episodes have been 3-ish hours. Like the two episodes have been like 3:15.
Oh no, actually 3:45, but without the ads, probably 3-ish.
Yeah, I watched them on Beacon, so it's been like 3:15 around for both.
I think we missed a lot of things. There are like special ads in between, which we're not seeing anymore.
Yeah. I don't know why they take out the ads on Beacon, because it's always fun. It's like fun sketches.
It is fun, but if it's like, the ASMR from Sam, and I'm sorry, Sam, technically we're not allowed to say anything, but the ASMR is just like, please don't.
I can't. The ASMR is the
and
one.
Sam, if you ever see this, sorry, we love you.
With all the love, I am neurodivergent and I have misophonia. The ASMR bit. No. My nightmare.
Yes, same. Absolutely.
Someone in chat saying, "Oh my god, no, not the ASMR, anything but that." Yeah, you get it.
It's kind of sad. On the other hand, I mean, we could watch it on YouTube or whatever. It's not a problem to rewatch it. But you kind of miss that part, which is sometimes really fun.
And the one thing that kind of bothers me from not having ads, I did not notice we didn't have ads because the episodes have been mostly short so far. Since I switched over to Beacon, at least, like it's been the 2 and 3 hours episode of Downfall that I've watched on Beacon. I watched... last week, I was watching on Beacon, and I started like at 10 when it usually starts.
Yeah.
But since we didn't get the ad break, and the Twitch and YouTube people had the ad break, in my chat,
you were faster. Oh my god.
I was 10 minutes ahead of everyone. And so I started live tweeting some stuff, and at some point, Chris in my Discord chat was like, "Hey, you watching on Beacon because like you're 10 minutes ahead of us. Don't." I was like, "Oh, so sorry. I am gonna shut the fuck up now."
I don't know. I think
because the one thing they were showing that was kind of like spoiling for everybody that I was like so excited about and kept talking about was which we're probably going to talk about it a lot, the artwork that they revealed, the god artwork.
Oh my god,
so absolutely gorgeous. Most of them happened after the break. So I was like, "Oh my god, did you guys see this? It's so good." And then I would take a screenshot and send it, and they were like, "We haven't seen it. We're 10 minutes behind." And I was like, "Oh fuck, sorry. I'm so sorry."
I mean, technically, that's a great segue to actually go to the stuff.
Wait, but we haven't done our guess about.
Yeah, I know. So we'll just keep the artwork for a second. Okay, what do you guys think? Also, I think both of you and me, we have rewatched the last episode, right?
Yes.
At least once. So we're
yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'll write it down.
I'm gonna say a minimum of 6 hours. Part of me also wonders if it's gonna be crazy long.
I wish it was, but
It could be. There is so much that they need to do in one session. It could be a crazy long episode.
I wish it was.
I don't think it's going to be like, Mighty Nine finale, 10 and a half hours.
Oh, it's not.
But at least 6.
The thing why I think it probably is shorter because it's 2 years later. They're further in the production stuff. Things are tighter. They might want to wrap it up shorter. But on the other hand, it would be sad if you don't get the story. So just from a production thing.
Okay, wait. Actually, I might have an idea on how we can figure it out.
Okay.
Let me double check my info.
I checked the Calamity episode, the last one.
I was going to say, the last Calamity episode was considerably longer than the others.
You should know it by heart.
I've had a week off. I haven't watched comedy for at least a week. Don't judge me.
You guys are hilarious.
Okay.
I don't know anyone else who has watched Calamity, like the first 4 episodes, as much as those 2. I don't know who watched it more. I thought Patch, but I guess...
It's all my hobbies and interests.
Okay. I went to go check on the programming schedule that came out yesterday.
Good
I
choice.
don't think it's gonna be any longer than... I'm gonna put my guess at...
Yes?
4:45.
Oh, very specific. I like it.
It's not that much.
Okay,
but I don't think it's
talking...
gonna go over 5 hours. And here's
we're
my
talking
reasoning.
beacon length. Including
removing the...
Okay, the middle chunk goes out, but the beginning, like the ad stays in. So literally what beacon gives us.
Yeah.
Okay? So Patch, do you want to... Or are you sticking with the 6 hours?
I'll stick with the 6 hours, goddammit.
It's okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay with my 4:45. Because I think my math still works.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
That's great.
Here's why I think it's not gonna go over 5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So it airs at 7 p.m. Pacific.
Yes.
Every Thursday, and the rebroadcast, if the episode is too long, will be pushed a little bit.
That's true.
That's
the
very
rebroadcast is at the same time as usual. Right
that
now.
Sucks. Ooh.
Unless they forgot that the rebroadcast needs to be longer and they announce it the day of.
Yeah.
Because they sometimes do that.
It's a deliberate misprint because they've seen us speculating. They want to throw us off.
Exactly.
We're on to you, Crit Roll.
My guess is 4:45 based on that.
Okay, Fire and Ruin, which is the 4th episode, is 6 hours and 7 minutes, but that includes the ads and the little bit of outro music, I assume. So 5.5, I guess, was the last one. I don't know. Also, I need from you, Halfdan, is he going to take a pee break? If you're going for 5.5 hours. Okay, so I'm going, Sasha is going 4:45, correct?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going 5:15.
Sure.
How many pee breaks are we getting? Hey, Patch, we're getting something from Sasha.
2, I think.
2 pee breaks, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say 2 as well. But
That's
I want
fine.
to say something different because it's going to be more fun this way to figure out who wins. So I'm going to say no pee break. Like no extra pee break outside the standard break at mid.
So you say 1, the standard, but he still does it like the last couple of times where he's just taking the break earlier? Or do you say it's just like, okay, we go and break this time?
I think I think it's just going to be maybe earlier break, but it could also just be based on combat.
Okay, cool. Yeah, when it makes sense. Okay. You say 1, Patch, you say 2.
Mm-hmm.
So like a standard and another one. I'll go for 3. Just to have different numbers. Otherwise, I would say 2 because he's not making. It's not gonna be just 1. He's. I don't know what's going on with him, but no. I love that they kept it in like that. He could have just said we're going on break or to break or whatever. So anyway, okay, so. Let's, we have done that. We have seen the bingo, or could we see the bingo real quick again? Just, we can figure out maybe if there's something else. Okay, what do we have?
Oh yeah, one of them, I had a question for chat, because chat might remember more than the 3 of us. I saw a lot on Twitter of Bren anti-capitalist memes. So I was wondering, did we miss something? Did Brennan say something anti-capitalist and I just didn't catch it because I was too busy filling out my spreadsheet or something? So if you guys see any of those, actually, any of the squares that you think should be crossed off, just let us know. But the one I was wondering if we should cross off or not was basically that one, because I'm not sure. I don't remember. I don't think he did. It might just be standard Brennan memes, but...
Yeah,
I don't know. I saw a lot more than I usually do, so I was kind of like,
there was no rent. It could be like little hints and stuff like that, you know, the whole situation with a tree. It's like, it's sure if you have like a majestic city like this, there's no greenery anymore because it's just city, you know, it could be thinking further.
It's more like little subtleties, like there's that and the... which I'm sure we'll get into a bit later on, the whole scene with the Planetar talking about everything that's been going on there, and you know the disagreements. Like you can, from a certain point of view, argue that it could potentially be a very slight hint towards such a thing, but no, I don't think.
Okay, here's the thing: it's not anti-capitalist; it's more anti-society in general, right? Yeah. So it's hard sometimes to know if you know. So we'll keep an ear out.
If Brennan rocks out with the "We live in a society" meme next episode, then we know.
Oh man, I was just watching Make Some Noise. So yes, I have Brennan in my ear currently. Anyway, so we can basically Artificer PC is not going to happen. Cognosa Ward needs to happen because they split off. So we haven't seen anything of that, but we'll talk about that later. Laura makes some dirty jokes. Doesn't really fit, but it's still Laura.
So she did reference having an imp in her boobs.
I know. I mean, technically, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
And did the Laura giggle that she always does.
That's what I wanted to say. We should have put the Laura giggle on there because I heard it. I'm like, that is so Laura.
Honestly,
I wish it was on the board.
I think we might. I'll rewatch the moment just to see, but I think we could cross it off based on that because I forgot about that bit when I was checking the bingo.
You can because she literally talked about her boobs. It's okay.
Yeah. I think we can cross that one off. That one counts. That one counts.
We haven't heard anything about the T-Dog really. Capitalism we talked about. Counterspell, there was just a whole silence thing that didn't work out. So it wasn't like so.
There was a counterspell in episode 1, I believe, but it's not a battle. It's not like the
it's not a battle.
Counterspell, your counterspell. You know that we're looking for.
It's gonna happen. It has to.
It's
otherwise,
gonna happen. We're in a city full of wizards. We're gonna fight for 6 hours this week. Like that's bound to happen. It's bound to happen.
I mean, she talked about her boobs, but I mean, it was a real description, to be honest. Most jokes are. Okay, Sleeper Agent, we talked about that would only happen if we actually see some uprise. Devexian. Okay, we have Bolo cameo or mention hasn't happened yet. We only have the accent currently, so I hope
I am still holding out hope that
good
Brennan
things
makes
come
a
to
reference.
those who wait. You just have to be patient.
Yeah. Exactly.
This your
Destroy.
city.
Destroy. Okay.
Honestly, if he
let's-
says, I want to destroy in the Bolo accent, I'm counting it. Like, that's...
This
Okay.
planetar giving me hard time.
Yep. Need the foods. Messages, arms. We don't
Could
have.
still happen.
Could still
still happen.
happen.
I think that's very likely because I think I don't think the prime deities will have them, but I think the betrayers
Yeah.
may very
yeah.
well rock
Oh,
up
yeah.
with some.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, situationship's not gonna happen because we know who's with whom. So
They're basically siblings. Unless, you know, I don't know, unless...
well, Wild Mother and you know.
unless what's his name, Nashir ends up playing the lawbearer at the end for like a scene, and
That
like
would be
if that
cool.
happens, I'm counting it. Like
True.
that for me, they're wives, so like come on.
I mean, technically, they were all one big light thingy at some point. I don't know. Anyway, Deleth, something's gonna happen. We don't know if the little boy is it or something. We can only hope. We have
Fingers
theories.
crossed.
We'll talk about that later. TPK for the mortal avatars.
Maybe, yeah. If all the mortal avatar die and the gods go back to
We count that.
their plan, sure.
I mean, they will leave them. So will they still exist or will they just crumble?
I think they'll go down. I think the mortal avatars will go down with the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
TPK possible. College of Tragedy Board, not for the PCs. Stasis Bubble, yes, wanna see.
Still very much possible. Still very
Okay.
much possible.
And as far as I remember, the vaccine was in the or around the Stasis Bubble, so yeah, we might see them.
Maybe.
It's
You know?
a possibility.
Yep.
Okay, so someone uses power kill, power word kill.
Okay,
Go,
actually
Sasha.
we'll go over that a lot more in a minute, but I was building the character sheets for each of the PC to figure out everything. And I found out that at level 17, warlocks get a funky little thing. I don't remember what it's called, but it gives them a spell they can cast without using a spell slot. And they have like to select a spell, and one of the options of spells is Power Word Kill. So Laura could have Power Word Kill, like on hand.
It makes so much
without
sense.
using a spell slot. I would be so excited if that's the case. And
It
like
needs to
honestly,
be.
it needs to happen. It needs to happen.
Yeah.
So I think Laura could be our saving grace, and I also think that Brennan just might do it to get his revenge on the one he missed in Calamity.
100%. Would it be amazing though if like it won't happen, but if say we saw like Ludinus either as a child or as an adult, or Ludinus shows up and Laura decides to use Power Word Kill, and then it's like I broke the world for you, Matt.
Oh my god, yes.
Changes the entire like world
Yep.
timeline, breaks
Yep.
it in a million pieces, and says, "Fuck you, Matt."
And that's how they get to campaign 4 where they're playing Daggerheart.
Exactly.
Please don't remind me. I don't want to leave Exandria yet. Anyway, there's a beacon somewhere. I mean, yeah.
Honestly, there's been some there's been some Dunamancy shit happening, so like
Yeah.
it's still possible. It's still possible.
Brandon wears makeup. I don't know. I feel like there was a live show thing since everybody was doing it.
I mean, for
We'll
the
see.
finale,
Maybe.
could just decide to dress up and look pretty.
Wait, we can talk about so. In the promo, he was eating a burger or sandwich or something. He was talking about pizza stains. What is it? Next bet. Which food will he mention in the last episode?
I mean, if it's the finale, he's gonna go classic brown, and it's gonna be almonds.
No, that's just a snack food. He is actually eating
It's
real
the
food
snack
currently.
food.
No. Okay, Patch says
Ramen.
almonds.
I say ramen noodle.
Oof.
Just like a bowl of noodle.
Okay.
I don't know why. I can just
almonds.
picture
Okay.
like Brennan with like the classic like noodle with like the whole like
Just a mouthful of noodles going, are you weakest at the elbow or the shoulder?
Exactly.
Yeah, he's just eating chicken or something and breaks the wing. Yes, thanks, guys. Something's up with our internet. I was wondering sushi too, but Brian doesn't feel sushi for me. Maybe a burrito or something. Because we're very like pizza and burger feel very like, juicy, greasy. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll go with burrito and he's gonna disappoint us. Okay, wonderful. We talked about eating habits and... Okay, let's go. So what else do we have? Weird fucked up Aeorian creatures. We haven't seen anything yet. Like, properly.
I mean, we haven't had
raised an
really any
alarm yet.
combat or anything. Like, we had one round of combat last episode. So I think it's gonna happen this episode. Like the Aeorian are gonna get out their defense kitties and
I mean, they got lucky because it was one round and then they were out. Otherwise, they will. Yeah. Also,
They
it's a
don't
secret.
raise an alarm yet,
Wait.
so there's, for most of Aeor doesn't even know what's going on, but that's gonna change very quickly.
Yeah. Is that a secret project, by the way? Yeah, right?
what is?
The experiments?
I don't know if it's secret.
I mean,
I don't think so.
but only like special people have access to it. But does all of Aeor know about it? Is it a known thing?
I think it is. I have a feeling it is.
Not what's status they're in, like, hey, we are testing it soon or something like that.
I could see the ruling class of Aeor wanting people to know because they want people to, they want people to know how good they are at coming up with all this cool shit.
And if we go back all the way to Avalier in Calamity, people in Avalier knew of it because they had already tested it on a small city that got destroyed. So I'm pretty sure it's already been tested and used, so people know about it. They're like,
talking about that. I mean, they did, as far as I remember, Avalier itself, the name didn't drop, but they got the tree from Avalier. Was there another mention? Do you guys remember?
I don't remember. I don't remember when I crossed off Avalier Mansion, but I crossed it off and I was like, oh, they're talking about Avalier, cool. And I just...
Well, because the tree was the gift from the Golden Scythe, which was Nardis Okero, Lewis' character.
Yeah.
That's
he has a thing for trees. Also, Matt Mercer has a thing for trees in every freaking episode campaign. Okay, cool. So also it dropped in the cooldown. Level 20 is confirmed, which we already knew. And
I am
Sasha,
so happy.
Do you want to talk about your stats?
Yes, I do. I really do.
Okay, let's go.
I really, really do.
Hand over to you for the next hour as we go through the stats.
We're going to go over it quickly. I'm not going to go into too much nitty-gritty.
Let me get some nuts or something.
Level 20 not only confirmed in the cooldown, but also confirmed in the episode itself. Because Brennan did a comment of like, I think it's when they revealed that there was a dragon projecting a part of the city, and Brennan just went, y'all thought when I said 20th level I was going to be fucking cakewalk, and I was like, level 20, holy shit, and I was really excited.
You're right. It was in the episode, actually, because I keep forgetting that stupid dragon. How?
Oh, they talked about it in the cooldown as well, about being level 20. But
No, it was literally in the episode when I wrote it down, so it's fine.
Yeah.
So keep going.
Yeah, so since we had a little bit of combat and a lot of spellcasting this episode, we have a lot of info to go off of to build the character sheets of everyone. So that's what I spent my time doing. I did not have a lot of free time, so it's not fully finished. And there's also like a lot of info missing, obviously, because someone like the emissary is not going to use intelligence rolls, so I can't figure out his intelligence, which is kind of normal for a barbarian. Like, let's be real.
Just lie about it. Little lies are okay.
Yep.
I put everything at 20. Let's go. We're done. Let's start with Amira, because I'm going to go in order of what the tabs I have open. Amira, level 20 warlock, which, like I've mentioned, at level 17, gives her the feat that's called Mystic Arcanum. Which basically gives her a 9th level spell that she can cast whenever without using any spell slot, which could be Power Word Kill, but there was a bunch of really fun ones as well. But the other fun thing about Amira is that I am pretty sure Amira is one of those that we can't say 100% for sure who her outerworldly patron is. We know she's Pact of Chain because she has Find Familiar with her Raven. We're not quite sure on the patron yet. It is probably Undying, just based on the spell she's been casting. Because I know she used Speak with Dead, which she would get with this. But she could also be another one, like Celestial, and have, I think it's one of the Warlock what's it called? Eldritch Invocation that could also give her. So it's not sure, but the theory is, at least my theory is that she has an Undying patron, which for the Raven, my Raven kind of makes sense,
Wiki says the same.
Yeah, Wiki says the same. I double checked. I think Wiki also says that there's a Matron of Raven patron from a D&D extension somewhere. That could be it. But
Arcana Raven Queen patron. I think they're their own patrons, like Aiden when he's talking to the father. You know what I mean?
Yeah, little Jesus boy.
It could be so trippy. Sorry, it feels so insane.
I don't think Critical Role has ever really used Unearthed Arcana stuff, so I'm not sure Laura would go there, but maybe, maybe.
I just feel like she would be her own patron. Anything else would be higher than her, and who would that be?
Yeah, for sure. I think she, even for, Salaha. Salaha is another, is really interesting, actually. I was going to say Salaha might be his own patron. I don't think so. But it's juicy. Salaha is juicy, but we'll get back to that. So that's it for Amira. We also know that...
Yes, go ahead.
Wait, what did we know? What did I write down?
Oh, we do know, because it's a little nice to know fact. She has the Boots of Haste, which is amazing.
Just when she said that, I was like, oh, of course you did. Of course you played the Matron of Raven and you had to have Boots of Haste. Of course.
For those who haven't watched Vox Machina, there was a constant battle between Vex and Vex, the twins. It's like they stole the boots from each other, and you said, I can't remember that, but it makes sense because Vex couldn't take, spoiler alert if you haven't seen Vox Machina, and there's still an animated series. Is it season 3 on October 3rd? So cheers. Spoiler alert, close your ears, put the headphones away. Anyway, Vex and Vex. Vex isn't there anymore, so it doesn't make sense for him to have the boots, but yes. So
he gave them to his sister before he became death. Amira has
servant of
Boots of Haste. Which is a thing that Vax had as a he just had, and he just so happened to be Champion of Raven. I also think Pervansel had Boots of Haste.
Potentially.
Am I wrong about that? I don't know why I know that, but I think I know that.
Just to tag along with that, because I wasn't here last week, so I don't know if this got brought up, because I didn't get a chance to watch the full VOD from last week. But just to top off all that, a little crystal necklace that holds an imp. That's also
It's hilarious. It's so good.
It's just all the Vex and Vax shit.
It's everything. It's so good. I love it so much.
Bust out a broom of flying in episode 3.
I would love that. Yeah. We also know, I think she has I think it's from a role. I forgot to write down how I figured that out, but she also has a charisma of 19, not 20, surprisingly enough. But yeah, like charisma 19 for a little Amira. And that's basically what I found out about our girl here. Next on the list. Oh yeah, does she?
Yeah. Because he was asking someone else about Warcaster, and then her next turn she's talking about like Warcaster. It's also in the wiki.
Yeah, okay, I'll write that down because I forgot that one. Okay, so yeah, Warcaster as well. Next one, Asha.
Ooh, you were talking about Eldritch Invocation. She has Mask of many faces because she can turn. She can change her appearance.
Yes, she used that in the first episode. Yep. Asha. I am so excited about Asha because I figured out her subclass and it's my favorite monk subclass. So
nice.
Asha, and I think I kind of already went on a little bit of a rant last week about that, about how much I love the fact that Amira and Asha are kind of like opposite of each other, like aesthetic wise, like Asha is like this dark, broody elf that's supposed to be nature, but she's like, you know, what you'd expect someone associated with death to be. Well, the comparison doesn't end there because Asha is a Way of Long Death monk.
Oh, yes, that makes sense.
So good, and it's my favorite monk subclass, so I'm like really excited to see some level 20 shit of that. Because basically she used Touch of Death, which is a feature that allows her to grab HP from someone when she attacks. I don't know the exact, like, don't remember the exact wording, but that's basically her thing of like biting and saying she's hungry and grabbing HP. That's just the way Taliesin flavors it, and it's so good. It's so fun. So yeah, Asha is a level 20 Way of Long Death monk. She has a telepathic feat that we know because she used it in episode 1, I think. There's some. She has a 19 key point save, which means she has 20 wisdom, I think. She also has 20 dex and 15 con that we know of. 15 con comes from my own calculation. If you missed that last week, I went on a whole ramble about how I thought everyone was level 20 based on math. And I was right, so, you know, trust me, bro, is basically what I'm trying to say about that.
So I'm not the lore nerd, I'm the vibe nerd. So my vibe was they are gods, they need to be level 20. So we have it on 2 levels confirmed.
Yeah. We also know that she has she did a spear attack with and her attack, like her hit plus was plus 14. So I don't remember exactly how...
Is it a charge attack? Because there's a feat, a charger feat, which is where you get like a charge attack.
I don't think it was a charge attack, because we know that the emissary has a charger feat. Maybe I missed it, but I don't think Asha. She could have it, to be fair, because I haven't figured out everything about her. What goes into the hit? Like, it's for a spear attack for a monk, it would be the dex, right?
Yeah, monk's dex. So.
Yep.
So it would be 10 plus dex plus proficiency? Or 8 plus dex plus proficiency? Hold on.
I can't remember now. I haven't played a monk in a couple of years, and I'm playing one again soon, so I need to know this stuff.
I've never played a monk this high level, because right now with the build that I have for her, I only got to plus 11.
Okay.
Not plus 14. So maybe she has a magical spear that gives her like a +2 spear.
Oh, so with the charge of feet, if you're moving at least 10 feet in a straight line before taking your attack, you get a +5 to.
Okay.
That would also not work with the math. Because she's at
plus
11
5 damage. My apologies.
Okay.
Because she's at +11 right now, so I just need like 3 more. So maybe she has a +3 spear or something.
What is she, elf?
That's probably likely, actually.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she was an elf. I put her as an elf, at least.
It's just something, it's like cleric or whatever subclass you're playing, you get like extra poisoning damage. Is there something with the monk subclass that comes along? You know what I mean? Extra, you can roll extra damage?
There's way of long death that she is. There's way to do necrotic with key points, I think.
Okay. Because sometimes you can roll an extra like d6 damage on something, so don't know.
The thing is, as well, with her spear, that I'm not quite sure how mechanically it works, is that she summoned her spear. She kind of like described how she like made her spears out of thorns and then used it. So maybe since she kind of summoned it, they're counting it as a +3, like a magical spear or something. So I think that might be what's missing here. But that's
Is there a spear in the what they called the god weapons, the
vestiges?
Vestiges, yeah. Is there a spear in the vestiges?
I think there is, but I don't think it's that.
I don't think they could have brought it there. Is it something you have to summon from, like, summoning is from a pocket dimension, right?
I mean, that's a warlock thing, usually. A packed weapon, you can summon it to your hand.
Yeah.
But it could also be the wrist pocket spell.
A different question while Sasha's looking. The whole worm constellation where he makes worms out of the rest of the apple. Is that just a gimmick?
I think that's just Taliesin being cool and Brennan being like, hell yeah, let's make that a thing.
Okay.
I don't see a spear in Thurday Reborn, but they do specifically say that like the gods had many. Like this is not all the vestiges that exist.
Let's see.
Because
I think I misspelled spear. No, I can't find it on the wiki right now. It doesn't matter. We'll figure it out. I hope they do a wrap-up, which they normally do. So I hope it's not just a cooldown, because that wouldn't be enough. Sorry.
They'll do one.
All right. That basically rounds up what I have for Asha. So unless you guys have anything else.
It's just the whole worm thing, the creation, what goes into that. So it's just like role play. There's no mechanics or something we can put on that spot.
I just think it was a moment of Taliesin being Taliesin and Brennan playing off it.
Yeah. Because there are gods after all. So even if they are
but it would be cool
if technically he's just a monk, he's still a god. So like. You know,
I know. But a question. So how much access to their almighty powers do they have? Since they're level 20, technically they should be just unlimited. You know what I mean? So how much can they actually do in their model avatar? What do you guys think?
I think they are mostly restricted to their mortal bodies. Except for like, small little things like cantrip level magic, I would call it, of like flavor stuff that they can do as gods.
Okay.
Maybe they have special homebrew feats.
It's like Taliesin said, it's small miracles.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right. Okay, for everybody who has to go, sleep well. I know we're starting really late for Europe. See you in the chat.
Love you guys. Okay, so that's about rounds it up for Asha. We can jump to the emissary now.
Oh yeah.
Which I the emissary is a mystery to me. I will be entirely honest. We know a lot of his feats because he said them out loud. Thank you for that. He has Lucky, he has the Charger feat, he has the Mage Slayer feat, which all fun stuff to have for a barbarian. He has I don't know what weapon he used there because I didn't write it down. I think it's just an attack, but he has a plus 16 to his attack, which is crazy.
It says in battle becomes a massive axe, which is linked together with a chain, so I guess it can change shape.
It's his weapon attack. I think, hold on, if I just add a great axe or something to his inventory, because I made them character sheets on D&D Beyond. Thank you, D&D Beyond. Yeah, again, I only got to a plus 11 with the build I made for him, but since he's a barbarian, I think it's very possible that because right now I only have him as 20 strength. I think it's very possible he has more than that.
Easily.
I'm pretty sure he has a 20 constitution as well, but I think it's likely he has more than 20 on the strength.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that would add a little bit to that. I might be, again, since he summoned his weapon, could be a magical weapon, to add a little bit to that DC. And I might be missing some stuff, because the thing is, I haven't had time to look into his barbarian subclass. Because again, they haven't really mentioned out loud anything that could tip me towards either subclasses. He hasn't even used his rage in combat. And rage would be something that would be really helpful to figure out a barbarian.
True. Hey, they put baby in the box the whole time, so...
Yeah. He was a dark...
Pact of the Apples barbarian.
Pact of the Apple. I like it.
That's
very fruity.
Cute. That's cute. But the one mystery I have, and maybe the chat can help us figure that one out, because we talked about it a little bit, the three of us, before the stream. Couldn't really think of something. The emissary has 80 feet of movement, which is the double. Because right now with the build I have for him, he's at about 40 feet of movement. He says he has 80 feet of movement, so that's kind of double. So I don't know if someone in chat knows like a magical item or a feat or a way for him to have double movement that I don't know about. If so, please let me know.
Well,
I will be looking into this further between when I have time. But yeah.
So barbarian speed normally is 40 feet, so that is technically doubled. So is haste doubling it? Because we were talking about haste earlier.
I think speed doubles your movement. Haste gives you extra action. Or extra attacks. But speed would double your movement.
Let me see. Okay, continue. I'm looking because I'm curious.
And that's the thing I was saying earlier is that
haste doubles till this spell ends. The target speed is doubled, and he gains a +2 bonus to AC.
Okay.
So I don't think he also has Boots of Haste.
No,
that would be weird.
Because that's the thing, is when I was watching the episode, when he mentioned 80 feet of movement, I went back in the combat, because that happens in the combat. I went back and rewatched the entire combat, and there's no point where anyone casts haste or speed. He doesn't mention activating anything.
Yeah.
He just has it. So there's something... Chat seems to be saying homebrew stuff, which I wouldn't be surprised at all. Yeah, that could definitely be one of the answers. But Math Nerd here wants to know what is homebrewed. Yeah. So that's the big mystery around the emissary. I don't know his subclass yet, and he has 80 feet of fucking movement, which is crazy. But it's fun. Honestly, seeing him in combat was a fun times. Yeah. Do I have anything else written down for this guy? No, I think that's what I wrote down. Yeah, that rounds it up for our boy here.
Okay.
Are we good to move on to the very fun build that I'm excited about? Salaha.
Yes.
Let's talk about Salaha, because that one got me hyped. So Salaha, he's a sorcerer warlock multiclass. And he used a feat towards the end of combat that Brennan pointed out, which is called Clockwork Cavalcade. Clockwork Cavalcade immediately triggered my senses, because like clockwork, that's Clockwork Soul. And Clockwork Cavalcade is the feat that you unlock at level 18 of the Clockwork Soul sorcerer, like path, if you will. So we know for a fact that he has at least 18 levels of sorcerer, which leaves us with 2 extra levels that we are not quite sure what it is, but I'm pretty sure that he just put both of them into Warlock. And Warlock, I am pretty sure he is a Fiend Warlock.
Ooh,
which is
spicy.
Interesting and spicy, because he used Command at some point, which is not a sorcerer spell, and is only, for the Warlocks, only available for Fiend Warlocks. So, like, that's why I was saying earlier that I don't think Salaha is his own patron, because a god to be a fiend, that's crazy. That's wild. But that would imply that he's a warlock of like.
Come on, he's running that speak easy. It's a bit round, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think he's very like, he's not good aligned, sorry.
Oh, no, I don't think, but like, he would be like, but like a fiend warlock, that's interesting build for a god. I think it's very interesting.
It is for sure.
We also know that Salaha has a spell save DC of 19, which gives us a 20 charisma, because funky. Yeah. I'm pretty sure he has a 19 constitution based on his HP. I think because he has 223 HP, which is a lot for a sorcerer warlock. So I'm pretty sure he has the tough feat and 19 constitution. That gives us about like standard rolls to get to 223. He also has the lucky feat and the warcaster feat, just for extra spice and fun. And that's it for Salaha. But yeah, like, I don't know. I love Clockwork Soul. Sorcerer, I think it's one of the most fun, flavor-wise at least, types of warlock. I was talking earlier about how much I love the Way of Death monk, and one of the reasons for that is that I played a Way of Long Death monk for another campaign I was in, and that monk multi-classed into Clockwork Soul sorcerer. So I'm like really happy right now, because like 2 of the classes that I love for this character are in this thing, and I just I love both of those classes. They're very fun. I'm
just scrolling through his I think they're non-binary actually in God terms, just scrolling through the wiki what's in there, because I'm trying to find why he would have picked like the fiendish part, but so far I don't know. We don't really have much on that. It could be just they gave him command because he's a fucking god, so it makes sense. It could be one of those, but like since he used command, I'm like Yeah.
I see you, little fiend. Yeah, I think it's just really fun. That's basically what I got for the boy, Salaha.
Then we move on to Aiden, or who's next on the list?
I'm gonna keep Aiden for last, because Aiden, I'm proud of the work I did on that. We're gonna go with Trist.
Okay, let's go.
Trist is level 14 paladin. We don't know with which oath, because again, just like barbarian, we haven't had like any usage of. There's been one usage for Trist of her paladin ability, and that was Lay on Hands, which she used Lay on Hands for 70 HP, which is how we can figure out that she's level 14 paladin. But she hasn't used any other paladin. Trist hasn't really used anything. I'm gonna be honest with you. She used a bunch of very basic spells for clerics and paladin, like Guiding Bolt and like, you know, all the cleric spells that we know and love. But she hasn't really used much on her paladin abilities, so we don't really know which oath. We do know, however, that she is a 6th level cleric from the Light domain, which for the Everlight makes fucking total sense. You know?
Anything else would have been like, why?
Well, it could have been peace. It could have been about it, but like Light domain is like so obvious.
She is the Light. Come on. She is
the Light. She has to be.
If not her, who?
Yeah, exactly. We know that because she used her improved warding flare, which is a 6th level paladin, like cleric thingy.
Yes.
She has very low AC, which makes me think that her dex,
the 15,
is also low. Because I mean, I don't know, would they be wearing armor is the question I was wondering. Because like on her art, she's not wearing any.
She's wearing the shoulder piece, but that's it. So a tiny bit of armor, but that's a plus whatever, 1, 2.
I was wondering, like, do we think that flavor-wise she's just wearing this, but she's actually, like, her coat acts as like a +3 plate armor or something. I don't know.
I think she's just walking around as I'm the Light, I heal, I whatever. So she doesn't need armor for now.
Okay, that's also what I was leaning towards, which would help us figure out her dex.
It's like she has warding flare and stuff, which protects her a tiny bit depending, but she can't use it all the time. You know what I mean? So it's a bit weird that her AC is so low, but.
Because if she doesn't wear any armor, she could be wearing like leather. Maybe that's what her.
I think that's the leather, the shoulder piece, but that's it.
Leather would be what, +1, +2 maybe?
Yeah, something
so
like that.
So she could have like +2 or 3 to dexterity, and I think that would make sense.
The thing is, she can wear. She doesn't have a feet, right? Currently?
Not that we know of. Again, she hasn't used anything. She used very basic.
Because as cleric, you can use leather and stuff for like the heavier stuff. You need something else. Otherwise, you can wear it.
She's a paladin.
And she's a paladin, so cleric paladin, she could wear heavier armor. Heavier?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But she is not, so it's a bit confusing, but I don't know. It's also, it doesn't make sense because where would she carry it? She's a mom, you know? She wouldn't be heavily armored, and they don't have a bag of holding or something. So
that's why I was like asking you guys, because I know that a lot of my DMs usually like items wise I have armor, but like physically they don't really care if like your art or your mini on Hero Forge don't have the armor, you know? It's like, if you think it looks pretty like this, it's fine visually to not wear the armor even though you have it, you know?
No.
I will let you wear armor, but your character art has Paisley designs.
That's hilarious, yes.
That's so funny. So that's what we have for Trist. Again, she hasn't used a lot of things, so we don't know if she has any feet. We don't know if she has any like funky stuff because she hasn't used much. Now, onto Aiden, the fun one. We were saying, I think it was last week, about how he's 4 multi-class. How the fuck are we gonna figure out? I figured it out. I did it. I am. I'm excited. So, from what we know, Aiden has he uses Aura of Protection in the first episode, which gave a +5 to anyone within 10 feet. So that means
reminds me of the other calamity. Is he in 5 feet of me?
Yes, exactly. Which, by the way, is another thing that I talked about it last week. Maybe now that Patch is here, I think Patch, you know a little bit more about Paladin than I do. We have 2 Paladins in the party. Why can't both of them use the +5 so everybody has +10?
Because it's 2 instances of the same blessing, so they don't stack. It's
that's what I think.
It's like how temporary hit points don't stack. Because if there were 2 different abilities, then DM would probably say, okay, yeah, that they stack. But because it's the same paladin thing from the pair of them, then
But if you get temporary hit points from different people, wouldn't those stack? It's just from the same person. Okay, cool.
No, you can only have 1 lot of temporary hit points at one time.
Okay.
And you choose, if you get granted, like if you have, for example, I currently have 2 temporary hit points and someone gives you 13, you can choose to grab the 13 and give up the 2, basically.
Someone in the chat said they might all have homebrewed feats and other stuff. I actually tweeted Nick, because he was talking about stuff. And he replied with, at least for me, there's not really homebrew going on. So it's all pretty much up to the book.
And that tweet,
couple of things maybe.
That tweet was a blessing to me because I was like, how the fuck? But no, having the confirmation that he doesn't have much means that I can find everything.
Yeah.
And that's a relief for my little ass. So based on the Aura of Protection +5, we know he has 20 charisma because he needs a +5 to give +5 to everybody.
Okay, I learned something. Cool.
Yeah, because the +5, basically Aura of Protection, you give out your charisma modifier, and he gave up +5, so 20.
D&D makes sense. Holy shit.
Holy shit, would you believe that? An Aura of Protection is something that level 6 Paladin gets, no matter the oath, so we don't really know what oath he has. So starting from that, he has 6 levels of Paladin. We also know that he used the spell Rari's Telepathic Bond in the first episode, which is a 5th level. It's a high level cleric spell.
Yes, I like this spell a lot.
Which means that it's a 5th level spell, so he needs to be at least 9th level cleric to get that. And we know from another spell he used, I think, that he's a peace domain cleric.
Yes.
So fun stuff on there. He then has Druid and...
I think it's the channel divinity, the Balm of Peace. It restores 2+6 hit points. That's the wiki set, and yes, that's from the domain.
That's the one. We also know that he has Barbarian and Druid, but we don't know which level and everything. But, ladies and gentlemen, I know the levels. So right now, if we do the math, he has at least 1 of Barbarian, at least 1 of Cleric, Druid, 9 of Cleric, and 6 of Paladin. That's 17 total. So where are the 3 other levels, you might ask, gentle chatter? Well, I'm saying he has...
Bridget and much?
The optimized build in this situation would be to have 10 level of cleric to get the cleric level 10 feat. 2 level 2 druid to get the level 2 druid stuff, and level 2 barbarian to get, because the thing is, if you're gonna add barbarian or druid to your build, if you're already like a class, there's no reason to have just one of either, because you get nothing at level 1, right? So for it to be worth it, they need to be at least level 2. And if you add all of that together, well, here you have it. We're at level 20, folks. So,
did you tell the subclass for the druid?
I'm getting there.
Good. Because I was just like, it's so perfect.
It's so fucking good. So, Barbarian, I think at level 2 you don't have to choose anything. It's just you get reckless attack and a few things. But Druid, you need to choose your circle of Druid. And Aiden, drumroll please, he is a Circle of Stars, which just, it's so fitting. It's so cute.
So perfect.
It's so great. And we know the Circle of Stars because he used Star Map, which is a thing of he can use. I think he just mentioned it at some point.
The wiki says he used Guiding Bolt without spending a spell slot, which you can do 6 times per day when he uses Star Map.
So he has free Guiding Bolts basically, which is something at first that I had to rewatch the episode to catch it, because Guiding Bolt, when I heard that, I was like, oh, it's cleric stuff. You know, but he mentioned not using like spell slot, and I was like, oh, okay. And doing research,
I thought homebrew. I was like, there's a homebrew thing going, because I wasn't aware. I haven't played a druid yet. It's still on my list, but
I just did research and I stumbled upon that, and I was like, oh wait, Circle of Stars makes so much sense. It's so perfect. You know what I'm excited about? The wiki also says a starry form, and I'm like, oh, that's so perfect. Yes.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, that's Aiden. I figured you out.
But
Nick, you have nothing on me. Yeah, technically he could also wild shape, which he hasn't done yet.
No, I'm so curious about that.
But I want to see it. Give us wild shape. It's fun. Yeah.
He doesn't feel like he would wild shape into an animal. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. It is amazing.
While making his character sheet, basically we know he has 20 charisma, 19 constitution is my guess from my spreadsheet and my math. I think based on armor class, I gave him 20 dex.
Yes, Wiki says that too.
Is that from something? If
let me see,
because if the wiki says it, I might have a specific reason why I gave him 20. I don't remember.
Don't know. I'll scan through it. Keep talking.
But yeah, like 20 of dex is what I got. I think he probably has at least 14 of strength. I know that the requirement for multi-class is 13, but there was something else I found somewhere that was like, oh, maybe he has a little bit more, so I gave him 14, because why not?
Which brings us back to, did they roll their stats, or were they given, hey, you can put like 20 in a couple?
I don't know. So far, based on point buy, I think I tried to see if no one likes point buy, no one does point buy, but I was like, does it make sense math wise? Are they within a range that is logical? So far it's somewhat logical for at least a few, because you're level 20, you have like a bunch of feat that are adding to your stats, and you can like just have ability like an ASI like multiple times. So so far I haven't found anything that's out of the ordinary on the stats wise. I don't think they just did, oh, fuck it, you're level 20, you're gods, everybody gets 20. But yeah. However, and that's another one that I can throw to chat. The one thing that's a little bit of a mystery to me about Aiden is that in the first episode, Aiden mentioned that they were asked to roll a charisma saving throw, and Aiden asked, is this a spell or a magical effect? And when Brennan said yes, he said, okay, cool, I have advantage. So, I haven't been able, because I haven't had much time to look into that. I already spent so much time just doing 6 character sheets in the past couple of days. But does anyone in chat or anyone in the call know how you, because I know it's something that I've gotten before on my characters.
Same.
I don't remember where, I don't remember which character, and I don't know how. Is it a feat? Is it something from one of the class? Could it be like a paladin thing that could lead me to an oath? Basically, do you guys in chat know how he could get that?
He is 10th level light cleric, right? I have a light cleric. I can check that.
I've never played Paladin, so I don't know about Paladin. I don't like playing Paladins. I've never played it.
I will never, well, I can't say never, but Paladins are not high on my list. They're the lowest.
I think I also have a Peace Cleric. That might be why I know this. Like, I know I've played this. You know, it has a because of race. Outside of that, I think it's
14th level light cleric. I can check. Anyway, I just realized. But yeah, basically that's
the one that I am unsure where it comes from right now, but he has that is what I'm gonna say.
Yeah. It might be the shield. There are some shields that give you advantage against spells.
That could be
resistance against magical damage. It might be the shield. It might not be a standard shield.
What's the name of that shield? Fuck.
Sentinel shield? That's one of them. I don't know if it's that one.
Shield. Why does this? Oh my god.
No, Sentinel shield is different. That's
Sentinel shield is like +5 on.
That's advantage on initiative and perception.
Yeah, and +5 to your passive. Like passive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could it be a shield? I don't know. And it's mysterious to me, and I know I've had that on one of my characters before, but I don't remember which one. So that's why it's kind of like, hold on, the shield.
Spellguard shield. There we go. It's very rare item. While holding the shield, you have advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects, and spell attacks have disadvantage against you.
That makes so much sense. Nice.
So it increases your armor class by 2, so it's a +2 shield.
That would explain a lot of the. Okay, thank you, Pash, for your brilliance. That I think that might be it. And Yasha have advantage in C2 for the same thing. It could a barbarian thing.
That's when you're raging.
I play a barbarian. But he didn't rage.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Let me check his barbarian abilities.
Wait, why am I looking? Is he light? She is light. Is he light?
No, he's peace.
He's peace. Why was I looking up light? Oh god.
Because the dawn.
The dawn. The stars made me all. He's light. Okay, let's check my peace domain. I put too many.
I'd put my money on the Spellguard shield being what he has.
Yeah, that sounds perfect, actually.
That sounds great. I'm going to add it to his inventory. How did you call that one?
Spellguard shield. Spellguard all one word. I'll put it in Twitch chat.
There it is. I found it. Oh, and does that get to his... Hold on. Okay, I'm still missing a +2 to his AC, but I haven't figured out his dex yet, so that... Oh, wait, no, I did.
You did, yes. His domain.
He might be wearing some sort of, like, armor or something. I don't know. Because right now he's at 21 AC. So I'm still missing a little 2 points of AC, but close enough. Is what I'm going to say for now. Based on the information I have, I think it's close enough.
Yeah, it'll probably be armor.
Because he does have a shield. It's on his art. It's gotta be that.
Yes, of course.
It's gotta be that.
We talked about we literally talked about the engraving on it.
Yeah. There it is.
Of course, he has a shield.
All right, good job, everybody. We did it.
God. That took a moment. Whoa! No.
So Aiden has a shield.
Oh my god! I closed everything. Come back.
Oh no! Eve was in chat and got timed out for spamming. Hello,
What?
Eve. Thank you for showing support.
Thank you. Hi.
She typed, "I'm here to show support" in all caps, and the automod was like, poof.
Fuck you. Okay, so I literally wrote down here other stats. Sasha, 246 mention of dragon and level 20. So it is on my sheet. It's too much in my brain today. So okay, maybe we can just quickly show the art since we're talking about the gods, and then we could hand over to Patch if you want to talk about the gods and who's confirmed and stuff, because we have the guesstimations still, but they are technically all confirmed. But let's look at the art real quick. Yura, are you getting your food right now, or?
Oh, he's back.
Nope, there we go.
Okay, cool. So the art is so gorgeous. Also, we need to mention Hannah and Kingcael, I guess. I don't know how to pronounce them.
Kingcael.
Yeah. So good. It is really gorgeous. So we're just sliding through them, and then at the end we actually have them side by side in the Wild Mother. And it's really cool because you see the pose is the same. So it is amazingly
Some
done.
of the features all match up. Like,
it's
look
like
at
the
that.
hand.
Like everywhere with the hand.
It's so good.
It's so gorgeous.
Also, the scene when he actually had Laura describe the Raven Queen, amazing.
Yeah.
Someone
It's
was
like
mentioning that.
in the episode. Go ahead.
Yeah, Trist. God, Everlight. She actually looks like Pike. The Everlight
Yes, with the white hair. Yeah. I think it makes sense because if you guys don't know, Pike originally, before campaign 1 started, like on Geek and Sundry, Pike had brown hair originally, and then died and got revived, I think, and she came back with white hair. So it makes sense for that to be coming from the Everlight. I think it's
Also,
so gorgeous.
Vox Machina were fucking menace because Pike actually, when they started streaming, Pike literally went like killed someone right out, and as a cleric she wouldn't do it like this. So Matt put her in timeout for a while. It was like, well, not like this. I know, but we're on stream. You're a cleric, behave. It was like, no.
But the one thing I loved about the reveal of those art in the episode was how they started by showing like the human form and then kind of like morphed it, like transitioned it, and like you could see like the poses matching. It was so gorgeous.
Also, what's pretty in the stream, we have a clip of that where you actually see like gold running through, so it's a little animation on the gods. It looks so good. We don't have to show it, but if it's there, we can. So I know I have one clip which I screenshotted. Anyway, for director in the background, creative by mind, could you show the gods? It's like the wiki overview where it says which god is which avatar. Yeah, there we go. And if Patch is bored, I'll hand over to you to the confirmation who's who. Because Sasha and I talked about it last week already. Before we jump into that, last week we weren't sure if the gods actually took over, like possessed humans, but we actually know now because what is the quote? I actually wrote it down with a time code. Wait, I have it.
Yes, 30 years in immortal life is quite wonderful from Trist.
Yes.
Was one of the quotes that I wrote down. So basically, it confirms that they were born in those bodies and stayed.
They were.
And also, like someone mentioned that like the gods have been missing for several decades.
Have been quiet for decades.
Yeah. I think it was the angel, right, who said that?
Oh, no, it was Archmage Cassida Brevin. She said the gods haven't been seen in decades. The gods have chosen to be born as mortals and grow up to infiltrate Aeor. That's what I wrote down because we weren't sure if that's actually happening. So were they like... No, we don't have to go into the mechanics how that actually worked. Did they possess a child? Also... I have a question to you guys. What do you think? Because they're different ages. So did some just hang around, be like, oh, okay, I want to be like 15. I'll wait a couple more decades. And the other one, it's like Father Milo is clearly old and Aiden is 15. So were the gods like, oh, just hang around here?
I think for the case of the betrayers, I don't know if... For example, Asmodeus has been on the earth as long as Father Milo. Because I could totally see Asmodeus just possessing a mortal and choosing a priest of the Dawnfather just to piss off like the actual gods and be like, I'm doing this as well. I don't know why you're complaining. So I think that's what happened for like at least some of the betrayers. And I think that's very funny. Of Asmodeus to do that.
Yeah. We have to talk about that anyway, but let's go to the gods. So we already knew the mortal gods, like our side. Guys, we are focusing on
things,
PC side. So was there any surprise to you, Patch? Who's playing or who's like betrayer god, who's there?
I think we had a very almost solid foundation to guess who the betrayers were. The only one really that was up for contention was Umleta, because there were a few names going around. But I'm pretty sure after episode 2 we can say, like, we can confirm which each one is. I mean, you don't have to. You only have to have watched 60 seconds of Father Milo to know that that's Asmodeus. Like, there's no doubt about it. That's Asmodaddy 101 right there.
He's such a little whatever shit.
Yeah. So moving on to the other ones, Tishar. All this time has been speculated to be Grumsh. This was confirmed in episode 2 as they made the comment about Vasselheim and lifting their left arm up, which is a reference to the battle between Grumsh and Asmodeus against, I think, the Stormlord and Arathis. I could be mistaken on that. There is official Critical Role art of that. Yeah. Because that's what they were referencing. They were referencing that encounter.
You mean the big one where the 4 are, or where Arathis is fighting someone else?
It's the big 4 because it was referenced in EXU Calamity when Asmodeus opened the gateway for the Betrayer Gods to return. That's when he was like, why don't we head over to Vasselheim? Like, it was that battle he was like teasing.
Because there's one where it's Arathis, Bahamut, Asmodeus, and Grumsh. That's the big 4.
That's the one. So it was Bahamut, the Platinum Dragon. Yes.
Yeah, and
which would make sense for Vasselheim.
Yes,
absolutely.
That's the one in Vasselheim. And then there's one where Arathis and Asmodeus are fighting during the Calamity. That is a big red one where they're clashing together.
Yes.
It's pretty cool.
That might have been
the
like
art
the
is
end
awesome.
of that battle.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's Drashar. Umleta, I believe we can say with not full certainty, but most likely is Lolth, the Spider Queen. Very particular mentionings of I think on that 30 insight, was it that Silaha got? One of them got a 30 insight on Letter, and the first thing that Brennan said was webs. And then further on Letter was making a comment about these dirty little flies, these infestation of flies. Yeah. What do spiders eat? They eat flies. So it's very typical language. And then the last one, our favorite, was the harsht, which I still don't think I can say correctly.
It's really good.
It's oops, all consonants.
No. I keep making the joke. It looks like Zahnarzt to me, which is dentist. And I think he just was like, Scrabble.
I mean, maybe that's what all the hooks in the skin are. It's all dental tools.
Maybe. He's also the one who wants also to be in pain all the time, I feel.
Yes, which is classic Torog. They are all about feeling the pain and torture and stuff. But then we've got other characters: Arcadia, Seren Veterix, clearly Ioun, the knowing mistress. This is very unbecoming of me, but to admit, but I did not expect this to happen. Dead giveaway.
I was
absolute dead giveaway.
So. Hold on. Let me just put the books away. When that happened in episode 1, the reveal that she was Ioun, I was like, because when that wizard lady, Seren Veterix, Arcadia, showed up, I was like, ooh, you are someone. You are someone. And then they referred to her as sister, and I was like, oh, she's another god. Oh, fuck. Let's go. I'm happy for that. So I was trying to figure out, and I couldn't figure out. I was like, who are you? Like, who is missing? Trying to piece the pieces of puzzle in my brain. And then they made a joke, I think, which made me realize, like, holy shit, that's Ioun. Shit, fuck. How did I not think of that? Because, from the Cobalt Soul, me who loves the Cobalt Soul so much, I should think of Ioun instantly, because she's one of my favorite gods. But I did not think of Ioun. And then she said, like, they said a joke, I think, that was like, I wrote it down. Hold on, let me, it's like, I mean, it's not surprising for me to want more knowledge. And I was like, oh, Ioun, I see you.
Wasn't it like, even I didn't know that? There was something.
Something along those lines, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any more gods, but there could be. There could be more gods. We know the Stormlords. Yeah. The man in the van is referenced.
Yes.
Is ready.
The man in the van. It's so good. Okay, what they also said, because they basically took down the protocols right now, right? So they can look in. They can't enter yet, but they can look in. And the Stormlord is also creating like storms and stuff around, so they can't leave, just in case they wanted to.
Yeah, so the city is now visible to divine sight. The Lanimus Princeps is still activated, so that's the next thing.
Yeah.
Once that's done, then there's nothing to stop any of the gods rocking up in Aeor.
So my question is he also rallying like the rest of the betrayers that's hanging around, or is it just...
Probably. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I found the quote, by the way, for the Ioun thing. It was, Ioun said, I want to know more before we head into this. And then she just said, like, that's easy. Although that's easy for me to say, that I want more knowledge. It's just like, hi, girl.
Yeah. I think I wrote it in between. It's for me, I didn't know much about it. I knew, obviously, in the back of my mind that Bo with the Cobalt Soul is always connected to her, which did not make sense to me because she is so far away from any god stuff, that, Bo for me is just like, I'm a monk, I punch, I don't read books, which she technically does because of the wisdom, stuff like that. So research for me and Bo was always like, that doesn't fit her character, but obviously she does later. But Does Ayun have access to the ball from Pesha? Sorry, I just don't want that knowledge to get lost.
I don't think Ayun herself has access to it, but like we've mentioned many times before, I am pretty sure that Maya, which is Sereth's daughter, later on creates the Cobalt Soul to protect that knowledge. So
she would be connected to Ayun.
Yes, but that, like, something that you know and possess doesn't mean that your god has and possess.
No, I know. I was just
like, the gods lock themselves behind the divine gate, so there's like a big separation between Exandria and the gods.
I am aware. It was more like, I want that ball to be at the Cobalt Soul, period. I want to make it happen.
I kind of love the contrast that's been painted between Aeor and Avalir. We have two cities that fell, two cities that tried to preserve their knowledge by sending it elsewhere in Exandria, and only one of them, as far as we know, succeeded, which was Avalir.
Yeah.
It's interesting seeing the parallels.
I mean, we discussed, Sarah and I discussed this last week, and I'm interested to see your point of view on this, Patch. I personally think that maybe, because they were talking about how, like, the plans for the Factor Malleus and, like, all the Aeor knowledge was split into, like, a bunch of spheres around the city. We saw them in episode 2 destroy one of those spheres. But basically they have an alarm system that if they get attacked, those spheres get poof out of Aeor on different corners of Exandria, so that the people of Aeor can later come back and grab the spheres and reconstruct, right? Do you think that maybe some of those spheres didn't get, like, maybe we are not, like, in the episode 3, we're not gonna succeed in destroying some of those spheres, and they're gonna be scattered in Exandria? And because my personal theory is that Ludinus the Leth knew about this somehow, or found out about this, and he's been searching for those spheres in Exandria for several, hundreds of years since the Calamity. And the Malleus key that he built was from one of those spheres, or maybe two. Like, of course, I don't think he has the whole thing, and I don't think he's going to be able to, because, we all obviously know that one of those spheres got destroyed. But maybe he used some of those parts of plans and knowledge to build the key.
Can I throw a crazy idea at you?
Sure.
What if in the modern day Exandria they've been misinterpreted as to what they actually are? And it is the scattered threshold crests in Aeor that were used in campaign 2.
Ooh.
Because they're quite similar.
They are.
Yeah.
And they were big.
Yep.
You're right.
Yep.
Could be similar.
They could.
That's fun. I like that. I love when you crazy talk at me.
See, that's a vibe thing again for me, because I was like, are those I don't know. It's like, it's in your head, but you're like, it will make sense, but the Lord Junkies will murder me if I mention it, stuff like that. So.
Yeah.
I have something on my thing, because I'm crossing off stuff now for the bingo, because we don't really have homebrew stuff. Is the stuff where they said areas of holiness, like temples and stuff, is a game mechanic they have which pushes the limits? Is that homebrew? Because he's like, am I still in my domain kind of thing? Like the speakeasy, for example. Could you consider that as a homebrew thing? Because then we could cross that off.
I wouldn't class it as homebrew specifically. It's more of a rule of cool thing.
Okay.
I interpret that as Brennan just being like, okay, if this is a temple to you, if this is your hallowed ground, then you get a little bit more of your divinity. So you have control over this space that is dedicated to you.
Okay.
It's like when the Mighty Nine were in the astral plane and they were able to influence the world around them. Like it's a similar kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's kind of a game mechanic because he was like, if you use your intelligence and then that's your speed by XY. I don't know.
Yeah,
you know
there's
what I
definitely
mean?
some homebrew like mechanic, I think. But is there?
think
My
that's-
question is there like a paladin or a cleric ability that is similar? Like if you're within the temple of your gods, you get like some sort of sanctuary, I guess.
Not,
No.
not to my knowledge, but I think things like that is just like a DM ruling at the time.
Yeah, I think
Like they may have presented this question to Brennan and he will probably think, "Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know. I'm gonna say it's this," and it's just
Do you
kind of like
remember-
a in the moment ruling.
Because
been
if go ahead.
It's been a while for since I watched Vox Machina, but they had a lot of Revivify going on, and every time they actually were in a temple, it counted a bit more because it's like the space they did.
Holy ground,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? So it's like even if
That's
they,
kind of
it's
like
it was
a
specific
DM's
to her. Yeah.
It's a DM's discretion thing. Like, anytime you guys are in one of my games and you ask me something, I'm like, you know what? Make me a fate roll. That's me doing the same thing.
It's like the
Are
blessing
you
of our
excited
tavern that
for
we got
tomorrow?
that gives us a +5 when
There you
we're in
go.
the lavish chateau.
There you go.
I
yeah.
love that. I love that so much.
Perfect example.
Because when he said that, I was thinking maybe it's like a thing that exists for a certain sort of cleric or paladin, and that they just agreed, like, oh, you all get this if you're within your just because you're gods, and it makes sense. Like,
I mean,
maybe it's
Brennan
a feature
is-
that already exists, and they just decided, like, oh, like mechanically, we're just gonna give you all of that if you're within your like domain.
Brennan
or
is one of those DMs where he rules stuff that to him just makes sense. Like he made a point of talking about that. I think it was in the Calamity wrap up. He was talking about like, the characters were only level 14, but they were part of Avalia. They were the cream of the crop. They were the most powerful thing, which is why he said to them in character creation, take whatever magical items you want. Because you are the best in the world, so you should have. It makes sense. So, like, I think he takes that approach to a lot of stuff. Like, so if you're in a holy temple, do you get a buff on your divinity spells? Yeah, that makes sense.
And I think for Calamity specifically, because we know that I think Pesha, her title was Archmage Pesha Burko, which technically Archmage is reserved to level 20 wizards. I think the reason they were level 14 was for balancing. Like, he didn't want them to have too much because he wanted, like, the goal was for them to fail and for Avalia to fall, right?
Yeah.
And so mechanically they were level 14, but thematically and like narratively they were level 20 basically.
Yeah, it wouldn't make sense because they've spent so much time on this from that. Yeah.
I think Pesha had access to every spell, every wizard spell as well.
Yeah.
Sorry, if not her. If not her, who?
Exactly.
It's literally, sorry. Also, everybody else. I mean, sorry, they had access to everything over the news, over her grandfather. They just had access to everything. Even if there was like a gold ring or whatever, and there the ring of brass, and there's a gold above or whatever the constellation was. No, they had everything.
They were leveled 14 asterisk kind of deal.
Okay, so question for you guys. We can do a tiny bit more and then go on a quick bio break or something, and then we have so much stuff after that. We have the hospital, we have the angels, we have the fight. We have so much stuff which we haven't covered even. So time-wise, do you guys want to go on a short break real quick, or should we keep going for a bit longer and then go on break?
I would appreciate a small break because I need to pee.
Like sounds good.
Same. Okay, cool. Okay, guys in the chat, thanks for hanging out. Please stay around. It won't be a long break. We just grab a couple of snacks and stuff. We're doing a Brennan, and then we'll be back. And if you have questions or comments, please leave them in the chat. We'll read it when we're back. See you in a second. Amazing. I love it. You guys have no idea what just happened. I heard the balls in the background. It's like a running gag, which will happen tomorrow on stream again. So welcome back to Tales of Exandria, episode, what is this, 3 of Tavern of Theories with my 2 guests today. You're kind of living here already. Patch, who is also this way, who's also our DM, and Sasha, who is my best friend on game terms. So
I'm just your best friend in real life. I'm just everything.
Let's do that. Let's do that. I like it. Definitely my best Canadian friend.
I'm not friends with either of them. I don't know who they are. I don't know how I got here.
No.
Please help. Someone help.
You can't be friends with your DM, GM. That's not possible.
I'm trapped in the basement of the lavish chateau right now. This big guy called Blue chained me up and told me to behave, and I'm kind of,
Patch, you're technically chaining yourself up because you're also playing Blute, but just saying.
Oh no, I'm not subscribed to Question Junkies anymore. I can't use the balls emote. I'm gonna have to redo that tomorrow.
Yes. That's disadvantage on death saves for Renee tomorrow.
Eve, thank you.
Suddenly there's a big fucking giant ball of fire that drops right on Renee's head.
No, not again. I don't even know how we ended last time.
We ended with me crying over
Sasha.
Laren. Yeah.
Oh, Pi sent her to the wherever she went.
Yep.
I like it.
I can't wait for the
chaos
consequences
character.
of that.
Don't tell me about consequences. My other character just turned into a vampire just because I had fun. Okay, so and I have to write that till it happens because I want to play a vampire now. Okay, but back to Aeor. No vampires here, as far as I know. We don't know.
It could be.
It could be. We have a couple of things to talk about. One, let's just quickly talk about Sila's speakeasy, or however we want to call it. It makes all sense when they're like, oh, let's just have a party. Let's just relax for a bit. Or Ashley, when she's like, I just want to hang out with them. Let's go to a bar.
Yeah.
It gave me vibes of the Mos Eisley Cantina from Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit.
Yes. And the whole massage thing with all you.
Oh, yeah.
I think one of my favorite things from that little snippet of a scene was the other players' reactions / other gods.
Yeah,
like,
and she's
are
just
you
like,
fucking kidding me? You've been doing this the whole time while we've been like...
Yep, exactly.
It's just...
It's so good.
It's so great.
It's also... we talked about it, they had disappeared for so long. Everybody was doing their same thing, which is the sleeper agent thing, because you don't really have the connection. You just know at some point it's going to happen, right? So he did that. The others lived a mortal life, having 2 children, kids, whatever. Yeah. And what did they say? The betrayer gods have been there the whole time. They were actually talking about it. Like, how long have you been here? And they weren't actually answering to that. They asked twice, I think. There was a scene. So, what have they been doing? Have they actually been fueling the whole project?
Just further reinforces my strong desire for Sam Reich to come in at some point and be like, we've been here the whole time, and just play a betrayer god. Like, that would just be so good.
What a way to fuck with Brennan if he just shows up unprompted. He's just here in the background, get ready for a game changer.
Oh my god.
And see Brennan spiral into madness. God damn it, I'm not even safe on someone else's fucking show.
Oh god. But yeah, they were saying there was something very interesting about that scene that was like, since Salah has been like so like partying and like kind of established a somewhat of a cult to him, because like they call him the chosen one, and everything. Like, it's such a. I talked last week about how much I loved how Abubakar was playing his character with like so much ego and so much like charm and charisma to him. Like, of course, a god that goes to be immortal for several decades, that is so egotistical and so self-centered, couldn't pass the opportunity to find some way to be worshipped and praised. And like, it's so egotistical. I don't have a better word for it. It's so good.
It's also how they get their power.
Yeah.
They get their power derived from worship. So what better way to do it in a place that's so anti-worship of deific beings?
Nowadays, he would be an influencer, beauty model, influencer type thing. He would just gain that all over his followers. It makes so much sense. The moment I saw it, I'm like,
Instagram sponsorships and like.
Imagine that, the whole stuff he can run from there. Oh my god. Who was I could look it up, but who was talking about the thing? Who I think the Wild Mother asked. Also, Taliesin asked how long they have been there. Was he talking to Father? What's his face? I don't think so. It was someone else, right? Because it was different teams.
Umleta, I believe.
Umleta, right? Yeah. Because it couldn't be the father, because the Dawn, as a worship of the Dawn Father, he couldn't have acted in Aeor because they got rid of all of that. So that would have been in secret. So who would have been there? Also, would have they just meddled around with bullshit, like pushing people in different directions? You know what I mean?
I mean, if we're going to talk about Asmodeus, that dude's backup plans have their own backup plans. He has a finger in every pot.
Great.
Like, it would not surprise me.
Yeah. I mean,
Since we don't want to talk about the big plot twist yet, but who knows what the betrayer gods have cooking, you know? That doesn't have to align. It could be also just pushing the others. Anyway, let's talk about the angels real quick, because we figured out there are angels around. Holy shit. So, a Castriel, I don't know, is that how you pronounce it?
A
Castriel, yeah.
Yeah. A lieutenant of the Dawn Father, he is actually around. And Karathran came with his commander, the Solar Castriel, who is a lieutenant of the Dawn Father. There we go.
Garathran is the angel that they were talking to, and he says, yes, I came here with a Castriel.
Yeah, the Planetar.
Yeah. The Planetar. But Garathran is the one who gave us the wonderful speech and just wonderful reflection overall about what the fuck happens in a calamity when all your gods disappear and give up on you. Like, for the believers, what goes through their minds? How is their fate affected? How do they, like, it's not really, like, when we talk about the calamity, we talk about what was before, what was after, the aftermath. Yeah. We talk about the between, like, all the war and all the fighting, but we never really talk about the faith. And I was fucking fascinated by that little snippet of, like, God.
I think the whole thing can be summed up with the best quote from that whole segment, which, and I quote, "With deference to the hands that move creation, if you wanted to make us serve the gods, you should not have made us good."
That's good. Yeah.
That's such a fucking line.
Fuck. Yeah.
It's literally what I wrote. Katz wrote, "Speak with that if you want it as." That's what I have on here. It's literally what sums it up. It is so fucked up. They don't care. That's also the thing. Blah, 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 the whole quote, seem unwilling to kill each other. Meaning, you, one, don't tell us what you're doing. We are dying for you. We have no idea why. And you don't even kill each other. There's a goal to that. And actually, you just want to be family again. So it's just like,
They don't
we
need calamity, they
die
need
without
therapy.
a purpose. You guys need therapy. Yeah,
I think
that's the whole thing.
I don't remember when it was said. Was it in the episode or in the cooldown? But Brennan says like, yeah, basically for the gods, it's just a scuffle. It's just like siblings fighting and
yeah.
But for everybody on Exandria, it's the end of the world. Everybody's dying. Like Marquette got, they mentioned it. Like Marquette burned. Like it used to be a beautiful jungle, and now it's a desert. There's a whole continent that doesn't exist anymore. That was destroyed. Like there's so much. Like for Exandria, it's the end of the world. For the gods, it's just another Saturday fighting with your sibling. Like.
That's cooldown. It's actually from the cooldown because I wrote down the quote and it's something where he actually summed it up again. It's like Marquette burned, Exandrians dead, us marching to war over and over and over again for those that cannot die and seem unwilling to kill each other. And that summed it up, and that was in the cooldown. So it's something everybody should see, not the cooldown people. I'm sorry, because this is like...
It's so fun to actually be able to have this little mini series, just to have like those reflections and those, the discussions that we have right now of like, holy shit, this is so brilliant,
I mean, none of us are American, but it's technically also, you could see it if some nations are in war. It's literally like, ooh, technically we just want our oil pipe to work again, but we're fighting right now. So they send their warrior to war. They don't even know why. It's just like, they're bad, let's kill them. And they die. They have no idea. And 5 minutes later, they're, we're making deals again. We're all friendly now again.
I mean,
so
I'm
it's
not
kind of
American.
commentary.
I'm not American, I'm Canadian, but a lot of my friends, like my best friend is American, and it's a discussion that we've had before because we talk about political stuff very often. It's like the leaders in America will send, for example, Afghanistan, right? The whole thing about like the war in Afghanistan and soldiers going to war in Afghanistan. Like, it's just for petrol. It's just for natural resources, and they tell the population, oh, they're all terrorists, go attack them, boo, we don't like them, but
Twitch, be nice.
We'll censor that. Beep, 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 beep.
Wait. I don't know. Like, I haven't really streamed. I don't know what they are actually grabbing. It's like, don't mention bombs at airports, stuff like that,
I could go on a whole like ramble about like the metaphor, like because it's of like sending your soldiers to war to over natural resources and like
Just to quickly dip back to Garathran, the planetar, there was an observation which I found very interesting, which also ties into what we were just talking about with the potential for the betrayer gods to be pulling some strings behind the scenes. While he was doing his big speech, Brennan narrated that there was a moment where his eyes produced fire, which is usually a sign of an angel that is falling to fiendom and about to become a devil.
Ooh, yeah.
That's an interesting observation, given who's there.
Yep.
Wasn't there like a whole thing when he started talking and like you said, like the fire in his eyes, but then did he choke? Did he combust? Like something happened and he couldn't finish the sentence, but I can't remember what it was.
Oh, it was he was trying to say something, but I interpret it as because he was a divine creature, he physically was unable to say the word.
Yes,
that could be,
that's it. I think for me, again, like the fire thing that you said and that happening, he was thinking things that were associated with the betrayer gods. Like in my head, it's to be interpreted that probably this angel is gonna fall and join the betrayer's side kind of thing.
Question. I wasn't really paying attention too much to the angel fiend devil thing. They are around in Aeor. They are also held as pets. I have a feeling. I don't know.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
But a fallen angel is as a whole different thing. Like that's in canonical D&D lore, that's Asmodeus or someone like Zariel. Little different in Matt's canon, but not too much.
But what I was referring to, because like I said, I didn't pay attention much to that part. There was a mention that there are actually more angels there than fiend, but it looks like more fiend than... Was there something? I have something in my mind. There was a sentence or something. Could be in the cooldown. I don't know. I have to...
I don't recall anything specifically like that. I might have to go back and rewatch.
Yeah, me either.
There's something triggering it, but like I said, I'm a bit off game currently, so I don't know. The other thing I wrote down is like, with the gods gone, there is a new order. So angels, fiends, and devils and so on had to kind of figure out like what is happening.
Yeah, the angels essentially were just waiting for orders.
Yeah.
And that's I think that's probably how he wound up there. And how he wound up being so disillusioned, because he was made for one thing, and then for decades he's just
roll over.
Got no instructions.
Yeah, exactly. It's like he was created to serve the gods. He was created to follow the gods' order, and then for 30 years got nothing. No words, no food.
It's the Rick and Morty gags, like, what is your purpose? To pass the butter. The little table robot.
Yeah. What's that face? It doesn't matter. Yeah.
I have such a love for Calamity, for everything it gave us, and this mini 3-episode thing is, for me, also reaching, like, I have a special connection to Calamity because of the characters, but like, lore-wise, I am such a lore enjoyer, and that's why I was so drawn to Calamity, because like, oh my god, like it's history, and it's like, but like Aeor, this Aeor series for me, it's reaching the levels of Calamity that's scratching the right hitch in the brain.
It is,
and I'm enjoying it so much.
Mm-hmm.
When they started off with the scene, I wasn't so sure if this is gonna be, and then everything was a bit more muted and less loud and less shiny. I wasn't sure if this is gonna hit what the other Calamity episodes did, but it does. There's so much stuff going on in there. I wish it was longer, but oh well, what can we do? But I mean, Brandon was up for doing another Calamity, I think. So yeah, we'll see. Is there anything else? Sorry, yeah.
I would say he talks about, like, there's 3 big eras of the sort of the days of the gods, which is the schism, the Calamity, and the what's the Divergence.
Oh, yeah.
And I think Brennan has already sowed seeds for a future series covering that, because there was the segment with Asha. No, not Asha, the emissary speaking to Arathis, and Arathis was talking about how, like, we walk these lines, and we are limited whilst we are here. Like, that was Arathis kind of sowing the seed, like, I think we need to push ourselves away.
Yeah.
Okay, Arathis, why weren't they there? There are a couple of theories. One, they have different, like, promises to different sections, also to humanity, so they couldn't just destroy Aeor in that sense. And the other thing is, someone said they had a avatar, but that maybe died. So, but I think they decided not to go. I think they literally didn't want to go.
My personal headcanon is, I think, based on like what I've just talked about as well, I think they chose not to come because they have already decided and are beginning the work of figuring out how to do the Divine Gate.
Yeah. Like, I think it makes sense. Like exactly like you said, Arathis is already sowing the seeds of, like, the gods needs to pull away. So her already having that stance would make sense of like, I'm not gonna go on Earth for 30 years. Fuck no.
And wouldn't it be interesting if
Doesn't she?
it turns out that the whole idea of the Divine Gate came from the Latimer's Princeps around Aeor, because it is a Divine Gate. It's the exact same thing, just on a small scale.
Yeah.
Also, I think it's what she represents. She is like her alignment, although we normally don't go much about alignment, is lawful neutral. And she has, how's it called? A scale. Is this called scale? On her X, on the symbol. So I think she's just right dead in between everyone. So she's the only thing that levels out
She's that
everything.
balance. She's the middle
is the
ground.
balance. You know what I mean? So
her not getting involved directly makes all the sense on her domain kind of thing.
Yeah, I feel like keeping out of that makes sense. It's also cute, like the discussion, tell her I love her and stuff like that. So the little in-between things between the characters and so on. Okay, that covers the relationship, I think. Or do you want to say anything about the Wild Mother and Arathis?
I think I've covered what I'd specifically wanted to cover from all that.
All right.
Yeah, so do I.
Angels, good for now. So should we move on to the hospital?
Yes. I have many notes about that.
Okay. Then who wants to take it away? Do you want to start with it?
Sure. Okay. So, a hospital scene. It's so freaking cool that like it makes all the sense again of like you're in a city full of mages. Wizards don't have healing. They are so like Aeor is so against like the use like any divine things. They keep like it's basically banned. So of course when you get to a hospital, like they don't have anything to help themselves. Like it's just nothing. So seeing this hospital of like so many sick people, like of course you wouldn't want to put it front and center. So it's like the hospital being like this little recluse spot of like we're gonna just like put our sick and injured people in the corner and forget about them and let them die, and like they don't exist to us because like we're ashamed.
Sounds familiar.
That it's so juicy. It's
I literally wrote down wizards are no healer. I think they actually said that too. So they just I mean, if your walls are high enough and nobody attacks you, the only real danger to you is diseases, which they are trying to prevent beforehand, but it apparently doesn't really help. So people still get sick.
Yeah. And the one thing, so obviously a hospital scene, we went there to see a little boy who was sick. His name was Hellas. His mom was the Archmage Cassida Previn. I honestly, sorry, I saw a message from God and forgot where my sentence was going.
What did God say?
We were having issues with my camera.
I didn't realize you were a paladin.
Yes, I talked with God. Little boy, I don't know where I was going with this, but like,
Just quickly, the boy, for me, it sounded like Hellas, like the old ass wizard in the Happy Fun Ball. I'm like, that would be so cool. But you guys already said he was born after the fall of Aeor, so it can't be him. But
a lot of people on Twitter, in my Discord chat, and even like I checked quickly the Twitch chat around that time because I was trying to see what the fuck was, because I zoned out for a little bit when I first watched it, which is why I was confused of like, why are we in a hospital? What's going on? Why are we talking to this lady who's crying about her son? Why is she important? What's happening? So I was kind of like collecting info on all the chats that I was part of, and everybody was like, Halas? And I was like, did they say Alas? And so I turned on the subtitles and like, it was spelled differently, but everybody was like, oh my god, could it be Alas, exactly. Yeah. Could it be Alas from Kiming 2, like the wizard with the ball?
The thing is, if he actually was born during that time, it could be because he was messing around with time and slowed down time and made it faster, so it could have been him. But when the spelling is different, plus you guys confirm, there are wiki entries talking about him, blah blah blah, everybody. But I'm also saying the DM could be lying, so
basically, in the wiki, I don't remember exactly what episode it's come from, but like basically Alas talks about when he was born at some point, so we know it's not him.
It's also Yusa talks
from
about him
as well.
Yeah. And Yusa talked about him too, I think, or even someone else. So there are 2 or 3 sources that confirm that he is younger.
Mm-hmm. And Zemnias did, like, as a country, did not exist yet, because Zemnias came from this flying city of
he was Zemnias was the flying city.
Okay, sorry.
And he was from the flying city of Zemnias. It's just that that wasn't a thing until after Aeor fell.
Yeah. Okay, great.
It was one of the. I don't think it was. Yeah, it was. It was post Calamity, I think.
I'm just looking at
this. I don't remember, but it's different city, different areas of the world. So
yeah.
But can we talk about Cassida Priven a little bit? Because I think her character is so interesting. So she's an archmage, right?
Before we do that, because we would head directly into what they are doing, could we quickly talk about Asmodeus and talking about like taunting the Dawnfather the whole time?
Oh my god, yes.
Stuff like that.
Let's.
There are a couple of things that happen there.
Dude, we talked about it a little bit earlier about how Asmodeus, I'm pretty sure that he was not born as Father Milo, but chose Father Milo to possess him, just as a big fuck you to the Dawnfather.
Mm-hmm.
Asmodeus is just, as a whole personality, he's just like, no, I'm here to fuck with that. Fuck you in particular to the Dawnfather. And I think that's just so funny. Honestly, like, it's gold.
Yeah. So when the Everlight Trist actually starts healing, he leaves. And the Dawnfather actually gives him like a nod. There's another like worshipper. Like, it's not the only one. And Asmodeus also said when they're outside, what do you think happens to Aeor or Aiden? Do you guys remember that?
He said, what do you think happens after Aeor?
Yeah, it happens after. Sorry, the after is important.
Yeah.
See, I can't read my notes. I'm telling you, something's up with me. What the fuck is up with me? I mean, that whole scene.
It's interesting. I think we're getting glimpses of what could be like the last glimpses of divinity in Asmodeus, and you know he's he's pushing this narrative, being the cleric of the Dawnfather, to lash back because he knows that the Dawnfather is trying to reel him back in to the light, and he does not want that.
Yeah,
absolutely not.
What I want from episode 3, this is the main thing that I want, other than Cognosa, because we need that. I want more lore and backstory between Asmodeus and the Everlight, because that shit is so interesting. And I have a whole stream's worth of other theories just about them too.
Here's my question, because they mentioned that the Everlight had tried to heal Asmodeus, which was the last person she actually used her. So, and he did not want that. So, and he did not want to. Really? It's not working. My brain's not working. I'm leaving. So in Calamity,
Xerxes, the forgiveness from Xerxes
tried that too. Everybody tries to fix Asmodeus, and he doesn't want that because on his level, he is the way he is, and he wants to be that way, I assume. I mean, he doesn't look depressed or anything.
No, it's that he doesn't think he's in the wrong. He doesn't, like, for him, he's right? And honestly, he kind of has a point on a lot of things. Let's be real. And so having people coming, being like, I'm gonna heal you, I'm gonna fix you, it's like, it's so insulting to, like, you think you're right, and you have people telling you, no, but like, I'll see you, I'll make you see the right thing. It's kind of like a little bit like how it is in real life for like those like far right like conspiracy theorists, like people that are like, they just for themselves they are right, and having people calling them crazy, having them people being like, oh, I'm gonna fix it, it doesn't help, because you're not trying to level with them, you're just trying to. It's kind of like a way of like, I'm gonna fix you, is like you're telling that person that you think you're above them, and that like
they're broken.
That's not how you level with someone that is so far in one mindset. Is basically what I'm getting at.
There's an argument to be said that both Calamity and Downfall is Brennan trying to show Asmodeus's point of view on everything.
Yeah.
The whole time, and to show like that, like one of the main points I think of both Calamity and Downfall is were the betrayal gods really all that bad? Like good, bad? Does it really matter? Everyone's a twat.
And the thing is, back to the angel quote, then you shouldn't have made us good because you're just as shifty.
Yeah,
exactly.
Storytelling, telling a story, reading a book, it's all a matter of perspective.
Everything
of
is.
Point of view. So you think you're the hero because that's how you were raised. That's your beliefs. Your beliefs align with a certain god, and everybody around you tells you that god is good. So like, for you, you're the hero, you're doing the right thing. But flip the coin, and all the people that suffer because of your action, to them, you're the villain. You're the villain in their story. So
it's literally who tells the story.
Yeah, exactly. And there's always something so interesting. Like, I think stories are so much more interesting when they deal in nuance, and they explore the nuance between, because I'm good, you're bad. Where's the depth? Where's the crunchy in this, right? It's so much more fun to explore the nuance and the perspective, and seeing the same story from so many perspectives, which is what I appreciate so much about these little things that we have.
There are different quotes. I can't quote, obviously, but it's like history is written by the people who win, the victors.
History is written by the winners, yeah.
Yeah, or the ones that survive and there's a rebellion. I don't Anyway, it's literally influenced by the person that tells the story. That's the history. And that kind of is super scary. Also, everything is marketing. I'm just saying, if you sell it correctly. Here, history is written by the victors. I wasn't that far off. Yeah, it is fucking scary. And you can market anything.
Oh, yeah.
Even if people don't understand it, a person who's good in marketing will sell you anything. Even bad shit. Mostly bad shit.
And hey,
so,
if not anything else, you know damn well I am getting my Asmo Daddy Law for Quest Junkies pounded right now.
Yep.
We know. Also,
I'm getting so many ideas.
I think the betrayers mention it like, hey, you just walked away from us, you shut us away. Wouldn't you be mad and pissed if your siblings just put you to the side and be like, hey, it's over for you, no playtime here. So you can't really be mad. Sorry. It's like the betrayer gods aren't all awful. Also, we need to mention all of them wanted to play betrayers, and then Brian was like, nope. There was in that one interview with, I think, Taliesin, right?
Yes.
Okay, one more thing, because we are on the Dawn Father. He's actually calling himself Dawn Child, and he has a weird, like, God, Jesus, the Holy Ghost is missing, but he has a weird combination going on, where he actually talks to himself like Father praise. It's like, yeah, it's a bit of a mindfuck.
It's a bit of a mindfuck because someone like Asha talks as the Wild Mother, like Amira talks as the Raven Queen, and you have Aiden who is more like talking as the Dawn Child, like Nick has referred to him as. I think what we're having here is kind of like different player interpretation of their character. So we know that, for example, Triss has like, we know that all of them basically were born on Exandria several decades ago and lived as those mortal incarnation. But we also know, I don't remember how exactly it was said, but they still have a part of them in their divine plane. It's just they sent a piece of themselves to be those mortal incarnation. So if those mortal incarnation die, the gods are not going to die. They're still back. It's kind of like they're remote controlling a little, and they still have some access to the information.
The Wi-Fi just goes out; they lose connection.
exactly.
But does the avatar die? Because literally, the conscious and everything is the god that's in there. Do they have their own? You know,
it's. I think it's like a blend of both. Like I think they do have their own consciousness, but they take a back seat and the gods step in the front seat.
I hope not, because they would drive them really mad.
I don't think they're going to survive long enough for it to be a problem, personally.
Yeah. But damn it, in episode 1 we were talking about that because they mentioned it like, hey, if you die, you can't come back in. That makes so much sense because they would be in god form and they lost their mortal shell, so they can't enter right now. That's what we talked about last week with the obsession and stuff.
Unless the Latimus Princeps comes down, in which case then they won't need the forms anymore.
But the question is like, a father, what's his face, was possessed when he is outside, if you go with that theory. So, and then that would work. So they could possess a human in that sense and come back, but that would take too much time anyway. Okay, so there's more stuff back and forth with a great Dawn Father, and Asmodeus just being a dick to him the whole time, which is hilarious to me. Because
I've been a dick the whole time.
It's like also, you need to do something shifty, Everlight. Okay, should I open the door for you? Oh, Dawn Father, help me open this door. It's just like it's so funny. It's hilarious. Okay, that leaves us. Oh, one thing before we go to the big breaking and archmages. The tree. We have one tree. We have the birds. I still want to know what's up with the trees in the basement. Sorry. Because the birds say there are not a lot of trees or plants or anything around, but there's a fucking whole forest in the basement somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, I think that forest, we're referring, by the way, to the forest that the Mighty Nine walked through, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is similar to the Sevelier Woods. Just later.
I think it's probably just in another part of the city where they're kind of like experimenting with natural magic and druidic magic.
What? No, that wouldn't.
It's my theory.
I don't know whether. What if there were a couple of trees left, and when Aeor crashed, they just started spreading? But on the other hand, why are they corrupted? That must have been when Aeor fell.
That's why I kind of think that they're probably in a part of the city with a bunch of druid doing experiments, mixing up arcane and druid magic. And when Aeor crashed, it just spilled like an oil spill, basically.
Druids would be wild mother. They wouldn't pull the magic from them. You know what I mean?
Druids are not necessarily deity based.
Okay.
A lot of druids.
Nature?
A lot of druids
Don't they
character will play on the Wild Mother and believe in the Wild Mother because thematically it makes sense because she's the god of nature. So a lot of people will play their druid as people who believe in the Wild Mother, but mechanically in D&D officially, druids don't have any like divine link. It's just their connection to nature
magic.
And it's primordial stuff basically.
It's still nature-based somehow, even if it's not wild mother deity-wise. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It still feels connected to nature as wild mother is nature, but it's okay. Let's move on.
It's basically they have a common ground, but they are not. Just like the same way as like a monk of long way of long death.
Yeah,
doesn't have deity power with the Raven Queen. It's just they have same themes.
Well, she definitely sucks up that energy. All right. Now, topic. Let's talk about the Archmage and her little secret society. Let's go.
Yeah. So Archmage Cassida Previn, I think, is such an interesting character because we learn very quickly that in a city where praying to the gods is forbidden, where like divinity is banned and any form of divine power is banned and worship is just all fucking banned. We have an archmage who is a high class like rank in Aeor, who still believes in secret and kind of hides her belief and prays in secret, and like she hides her books, she hides her little symbol to the Everlight under the pillow of her son so that no one can see that she's still trying to pray to the Everlight to help her, even though she's technically not allowed. I think it's such an interesting character choice for a person like an archmage like that, if you will.
I mean, she also tries to help the hospital and sneaks in other stuff which shouldn't be there.
Like she has such a different. It's kind of giving me a little bit of like, I don't want to say deja vu, but a little bit of deja vu from, it's just like queer people like I'm seeing parallels in my head because it's kind of like my experience. It's like a queer person in the closet in an unsafe environment, basically, of like, you still have your belief, you still have yourself, who you are deep down, and you're hiding that, and you're stuck. Like, it's interesting, and I love to see it.
I mean, the other thing is, it's also when you're in a situation where you don't see a way out, like your kid is dying, you start praying even though you don't really believe. So it could be also that mixed with the other thing, she actually believes but she can't show it because she doesn't gain powers over the Everlight. She would be a true believer. She's a wizard, period. So would be cool if she could get a level in cleric or something. Anyways, so she is part of the Society of Primes, and I'm handing it over to Patch. Otherwise, Patch is bored. Period. That's my standpoint.
Okie dokie. So yeah, this was, if I'm honest, quite possibly the biggest plot twist, shall we say, I dare say, in Critical Role history.
Okay, first we need to mention they are building the Factorum Malice, which is the god killer weapon, right?
Yes, I was about to get into that. So if you have this group called the Society of Primes, these are high archmages in the upper echelons of Aeor, people behind the Factorium Malleus. It's not everyone that's building it. It's a secret group that's involved. She went on to explain that they have put blocks in place. They have taken measures to not stop the weapon from being utilized, but in a sense limiting it, focusing it, with the insane reveal that they were planning to use the weapon to help the prime deities to murder their siblings. And they are blind to what that means to the deities. Because I think that one of the things that makes that such a big moment is I think this is the moment that the gods see firsthand just how much their family squabble, how severe the consequences of it are.
Yeah.
Because sure, they all wanted to take down this god-killing weapon because it means the ends of the gods, and that's that's a terrible thing, and they have to the thing that is uniting their family, they now realize will actually be the one that permanently separates them, and it kind of puts the blood on their hands in a way that is not directly their responsibility.
When I tell you that my jaw fucking dropped at that moment, and that explanation from Cassida, of how her and her secret society of mages, by the way, though, it's interesting that like I said, she's kind of the little closeted believer in the gods, and she has that little secret society that are working under the nose of Aeor and against the belief of Aeor's, because they're okay, we're the smart people, you need us, but we don't exactly believe in the same things. We sort of want the same things, but for different beliefs. So we're gonna just secretly put in our little twist to this thing. Not even necessarily sabotage, but it's for us it's just better this way. And no one's gonna know. And then it's just so there was a quote, I think, that went I don't remember the quote, but it was Cassida saying oh, but we're gonna fight alongside you to the Everlight. And it was just oh fuck. like, you really think you're helping here, and we're here to kill you because of what you're doing. Whoopsie! Like, fuck.
Yeah.
What do we do with those believers who thought they were helping? It just creates like some sort of like conflict of interest of like, I was here to kick this city's ass and now I kind of feel bad for it. Fuck, you know?
I suppose my question to you guys based off of this, and this is something to think about before next episode, is this is clearly like at least the beginnings of the truth that Ludinus wants the Bell's Hells to see and wants the world to see.
Oh yeah.
So my question is, has just gone out of my head apparently. I'm tired. So my question about that is, what's the right thing to do here at this?
For Bell's Hells, you mean?
And well, yeah, exactly, because you know they are now being presented with all this truth. You know, is it a case of hashtag I stand with Ludinus, or is it, you know, like which way are we swinging now?
What's Ludinus' real reason behind it?
Yeah, we don't know why Ludinus thinks the things he thinks. We have some ideas, because he saw the aftermath of the calamity and what the gods have done, and he's like, fuck them! They did us dirty. And I've always understood Ludinus's like way of thinking for that. I am personally of the opinion, and that generally sort of applies in real life, not in every cases, but whenever two groups of people have such opposite beliefs and both of them are justified, because usually all beliefs are justified and like they make sense to that person and they are justified. Like I wish everybody could just agree and be like, oh, we have different beliefs. Let's just agree to disagree and stay on the status quo. Unfortunately, humans don't like the status quo, which, you know, makes sense. We want to be right all the time. So it's unfortunately oftentimes just a law of who's going to be the strongest, who's going to have the right side, like the winning side. But I would be of the belief of like, hey, let's just agree to disagree. Ludinus, you don't believe in the gods, that's fine. You can have your little group of people who don't believe in the gods and don't want the gods to be involved, and you can maybe like go in that corner over there with those people and have your society of anti-gods people. Just don't touch the gods, because other people in that corner have their beliefs and they believe that the gods are good, and so like let's just keep them separate and like agree to not interfere with each other. But that's just never gonna be happen.
Question: if that weapon is functional and the gods disappear, is it like when the Raven Queen took over that no one remembers the person before? Meaning, do people not realize that there were gods?
I think what would happen if Ludinus succeeds in killing the gods, I think what would happen, because there's always going to be fate.
Oh yeah.
Even if all the gods die,
something else will replace it.
Humanity, like if we look at, for example, World War II, like kids in concentration camps started their own religion basically around butterflies because they were so desperate to have some hope and some sort of fate that they would get out of there, that they started all believing in the same thing. and it's a phenomenon that was observed across like it's something that happened in all concentration camps. That butterfly thing, it became like a belief amongst children. Yes.
Question: can you kill the Wild Mother? Because if the Wild Mother is gone and nature dies,
I'm getting
nature will always be there.
Yeah, I don't think like the Wild Mother is not nature. She just rules over nature.
The nature domain. Okay.
Yeah.
Because
so what I think is going to happen is
that
if all the gods get killed, I think somewhere someone is going to start believing in other things, and that's going to create new gods. Whether that be like, we all believe in that one, like, for example, a village of druids who believe
a flying spaghetti
Kiki.
monster.
Like the Shari just believe that Kiki is the biggest influence on nature or something, and she doesn't necessarily become a god, but like the idea that she's a god would create like godhood in a way.
People who are powerful, who still have magic, who live a long time, they will end up being a leader or a worshipped thing.
And that's like we talked about it earlier today. Like worship creates power for the god. That's how they get their power. So like if everybody just worships, for example, Keyleth, I'm using Keyleth because she's kind of like a leader of nature people. She could possibly achieve some sort of godhood. And like we've seen mortals take over the place of gods. Like the Matron of Raven is basically a mortal who took over. Like I just think it would happen again.
I think one of a takeaway point really is like this story will revolve a lot around, well, what is a god? Because at the time when they came to Exandria, there was gods and there was the primordial titans. Mm-hmm. They had a war, the gods won. They were the more powerful beings. Mm-hmm. They created life that then worshipped them. But, you know, how do they know that they are immortal gods? Are they just more powerful people? You know, is anyone truly immortal? Probably not. Yeah. It's just a scale. If the gods go, someone will slip into that place.
Yep. Even Raven Queen took over.
They may not be celestial, but you know, they'll be the top of the hierarchy.
I mean,
how it will always be.
They definitely can be killed and taken over by the Raven Queen, for example. Question, is Asha Wildmother still different? Because Asha mentioned, like, this is it for me, this is it. For the others, it didn't seem like that urgent. You know what I mean? There was a moment at the tree where Asha said, this is it. There is no back force, whatever. I don't know if you remember that point.
I don't remember exactly what was happening around that, but I do remember that. I think, because we've seen since episode 1 how Asha kind of agrees more with the betrayers right now of like, no, this like we need to do, like we need to act, we need to do something, while like some of the other characters have been more like a little bit like a bit too egotistical in a way of like, we'll deal with that later, we're immortal anyway, it's like, it's fine, kind of more like, I don't remember the word, but kind of like more free about this.
I think Taliesin was quoted somewhere as saying, like his interpretation of the Wild Mother, like, you have no idea how close they were to being a betrayer.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So
wasn't that even in that interview we watched?
Yes, I think it was. Yeah,
he was talking about that.
And so that for me was just another moment of that, because nature is a neutral deity, so could go either way, anytime
for sure.
But I guess if we want to know all the information, we'll have to watch the finale on Thursday.
Yes. Since we're wrapping up pretty soon here, I mean, you got a lot of information out of that one-round fight, which we talked about earlier. So we could figure out, or you could figure out most of the stats for each god or mortal form. What's the next step? What do you guys expect? What's going to happen? What do you want to see? For example, Cognosa, whatever, however you pronounce it, you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We haven't seen anything about that. And there's one thing where they actually talk about the hidden passages, passcodes that have been changing and trigger protocols if you don't enter that correctly. Question for you guys, because I can't really remember. Devaxian actually opened doors for them correctly. He used a passcode. He overrode his own protocol, which said, I need to talk to associate. No associate around. I'm my own associate. I make the rules now, kind of things. I think that was still in his Charlie form, but he could open doors. So did Devaxian actually have a further up hierarchy thing? What do you guys think? I want to see him. That's all I'm saying. Also, he was found close to the stasis bubble, and
wild idea.
mage in there.
Wild idea. What if Devaxian is just Salaha without the Arcart?
It would be so good.
That would be fun.
It would be so good.
I mean, okay, what I want to see in the next episode, I really want more tie-ins to what we already know about Aeor. Because I feel like the first 2 episodes have been a lot of like, this is everything you don't know about Aeor. And now that we're about to tie back in to Campaign 3, I want to see those tie-ins. I want to see, like you said, the Cognos Award. I want to see, like, all the weird experiments that we've found. I want to see the tie-ins. And, like, because we have a lot of mysteries still. Because we know this new information and we know the information we already knew, but there's like a big gap in the middle that we still don't know. Yeah. And we only have a couple of hours next episode to find all of that out. And I'm like, what are we going to get? Holy shit, you know? Like, yeah.
The thing I appreciate, normally when you have one-shots, you go, you get to know the party, blah, 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 it leads to a fight, and bam, that's it. But here it's not. It's actually a lot of lore around it, so I have high hopes for the last episode, so it's not just a big fight and bam. So I hope we actually get some more stuff. Question, it's also in the chat, will they save people? Like, we just healed that commoner for 70 hit points. Will we save the boy? Is the boy Hellas Ludinus? Is his mom the archmage in the stasis bubble? There's stuff going on. What is happening to the people? I mean, there are a lot of theories and whatever going around.
I mean, the archmage that we had in the stasis bubble in Campaign 2, he had a name. I don't remember it. It's written down in my 99 notebook somewhere. But like that's some of the things that I want to see. Like when I'm talking about that huge gap of like missing information between this new and old information that we had, that's part of it. It's like, what happened? What are the stasis bubbles? Are we gonna see them being deployed? Who are the people that got targeted? Like, what was the intention of those? Because we sort of already know that the stasis bubble were like deployed, and it sort of kind of went wrong. And so it kind of like half worked, but half didn't. Because the people in it are sort of dead, but not really. But maybe they can be saved, but like we don't know. So like I want to see, was it triggered accidentally? Was it like supposed to just protect all the archmages in the city, but then like some of the targeting got wrong in the fucked up, and because it didn't get deployed properly. I don't know. It's some of the and I want to see that archmage that was in the hard bubble. I want to see him. I want to know him. I want to see him.
I thought it's a female the whole time since the Mighty Nine. Always thought it's a female.
I don't remember.
Might be just me. That's just the vibe I had. But I probably missed. Anyway. I want to know if the Society of Crimes and the Somnoum have any connection. Probably not, but
Nah, I don't think so.
it would be so cool if someone knew something. If there was one person that pulled strings everywhere.
The Somnovum, I
Vaxian.
believe, have been mostly cut off from the other parts of Aeor for some time, leading up to the downfall. And we'll probably get at least an hour of the session devoted to whatever happens to that, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be part of it.
It needs to be. I mean, hello?
I think my personal headcanon is that when Aeor does get separated from the Cognos Award, that's going to be ultimately what's brings the defenses down, which then lets the Stormlords sink the city, because they'll lose an entire chunk of the city, and I don't think the Latimus Princeps could survive that.
Yeah.
Okay, I found my notes about Aeor. The Archmage in the bubble, his name was Brashar.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so be on the lookout for the name Brashar next episode.
Brashar.
Sounds so familiar. I don't know. There's one more thing. It's with the angels. It's basically said that Castriel was basically delivering information, and first up, everything was kept from everyone, but it kind of slipped, and that's why they are pushing the deployment of the weapon. That's what I said. I think it was also from the cooldown. I can't remember. I have a whole section, a whole quote, but that was. So they could actually move quickly, and the Factorum has been operational for a while. So yeah. Where are they heading from now? What's happening now? And the question is, will they try to save a couple of the Aeorians or not, or whatever?
So
people from Aeor.
They just finished the combat. They just destroyed the first sphere.
Yep.
I assume maybe going to another sphere to destroy more. But also, surely they're not gonna just spend their whole episode going around the city destroying all the spheres, right? Yeah. They gotta be going for the weapon at some point. They gotta be going for the final big blow. I think.
I mean,
we might be seeing. I think we might be seeing sort of what we saw in Calamity with the batteries, the arcane batteries. When they needed to save the batteries, and so Brennan was like, okay, you have 12 batteries to save. Let's just do a few rounds of rolls to see how many you succeed in saving, because we're not going to run this combat 12 times, right? Yeah.
I'm not sure how important the rest of them are, because the main thing was they got the scribe, and they took care of that, because that was what had all the plans. And
but there's multiple of those. That device, there's multiple of those that have a bunch of pieces of the plans. So if they destroy just one, there's still a lot of pieces left. Well, so you want to destroy as many as possible before you go for the final strike, because otherwise, if you're just missing one page of your 700-page notebook, you can figure out how to build it back. One page is, so that's kind of what I think is going to happen.
That was Team Destroy, right?
I mean, they all ended up there in the end, but yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm asking, because one thing was destroying the protocol, which they did, right? And they were talking about... Yeah, they were talking about they are unable to push anything out, even if they would put it on a ship now, because the Stormlord has everything shut down currently. So I think they're pretty good. I think they're moving on to the weapon currently. Just a feeling. But
I guess we'll find out on Thursday.
Well, in my opinion, they still need to destroy a few spheres. I don't think in the episode we're going to see much more combat of them going after spheres. I think it's just going to be a few rolls to determine how many they manage to destroy. And I think, we're going to go for the weapon next. And take down the fucking city. Let's crash this bitch to the ground.
Do you think the Everlight is joining, or is she helping the people from the boy at the hospital, stuff like that?
I don't know.
I think everything will be decided in the first scene when the group actually gets a chance to talk about everything they just learned.
Yeah.
Also, what's with the theory that the kid is Ludinus and he's angry because
I don't think we've seen Ludinus yet.
No,
Okay.
I don't think so either.
Okay.
I think that's one of the reasons why I think it's not Ludinus. I think ultimately, even though she's conflicted, I think the Everlight is gonna go ahead with the plan.
Okay.
And, you know, those people in the hospital are just all gonna die, even though her and Tristan and Aiden try to heal them all because they were trying to do the right thing. Ultimately, wrong place, wrong time. You know, it's like, sorry, you're gonna die.
Yeah. You had a good moment. Okay. We are about to wrap up here. Do you guys want to mention anything else before we wrap up? Also, we are switching the date next week, potentially from Tuesday to Thursday, because we have some conflicts of timing, and Critical Role should be off on that Thursday.
Yeah, it's the last Thursday of the month, and the downfall arc is gonna be.
Wait, when is Candela? When is the whole Candela stuff going down? Isn't that end of July?
That starts this Friday.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll see. Anyway, it's not the same time we streamed earlier.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any predictions? Anything?
I think Bolo's gonna rock up as the final boss.
Yes. Please.
Ludinus is gonna show up, revealing themselves to be Loras of the Weaver's Mask. I will die on that hill. We will see Cognosa leaving Aeor. Aeor will fall. TPK of the Mortal Avatars.
And Bell's Hells don't give a fuck about gods. Besides prayers.
As was mentioned earlier in the chat, something which I was thinking about yesterday, I think we'll end with Brennan leaving the table and Matt sitting down at the table to bring things back full circle.
Yep.
Okay, my predictions. Let me pull out the bingo sheet here. I think we're gonna get Cognosa word lore, counterspell battle, Daleth mention, and a beacon somewhere, so we can get a fucking bingo. There we go.
That's it. That's it. Not more.
No, I think there's gonna be a lot more.
Okay.
There's many possible bingos on there, but this is probably one of the more possible ones that we could see. I just want to get a bingo. Okay, my track record has not been great the past couple of months. I have not got a bingo on my sheets in 2024 at all. So
there we go.
Thank you, God, for the bingo. I just want my predictions to be finally right.
Hey,
I have a reputation
can still get a sleeper agent and Bolo. We could get the cross.
Yeah, you're right.
Let's aim high. Let's get the cross.
yeah, exactly. You get it. But yeah, my track record. I have a reputation to protect here. Okay, I need my wins. I need my bingo wins.
Okay. Yep. I'm so curious. Especially Bell's Hells. How will they react? But that really depends what Ludinus is saying, like, see, and they're like, you know, it needs to have a reason. So, but what's happening then? We let the gods being destroyed. We stop not destroying the gods because Ludinus all of a sudden is like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you know. Who knows?
Where's the BBG? Everything's good, or
we'll see.
End of the campaign. We make peace with Ludinus, and Exandria changes forever.
We'll see the gods devoured by Predathos, the world bereft of divinity, and there will only be one person worthy to step up. And it'll be time to respect the Alpha, as Chandni Pakapi will rise.
Yeah, Chet just said, yeah, it would be so, I would love so much when bell tells just go like so. I mean, what you mentioned before, anybody could be like worshipped or whatever. Delilah is in Laudna. That's kind of a thing too, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, we are actually wrapping up. So in reverse order, please, whatever you want to say about yourself and what you're doing. Let's go. I think Patch goes first.
Oh, hello.
Yep.
That's
Sorry.
me.
The other god.
Oh, it's nearly 1 a.m. and I am on caffeine fumes. I am Patch, the ever humble DM from a little place called Quest Junkies, where you know, if you like these stories about ancient calamity cities, then have I got a treat for you, because tomorrow night, the three of us, plus some more of our wonderful friends, will be over at Quest Junkies, returning to our little D&D campaign on Wednesday nights called the Wildmount Chronicles.
Yeah,
These guys are in the hells right now, and what did they find in the hells? They found Avalier, what remains of it. And oh boy, have they got some fun stuff waiting for them.
Oh my god,
Avalier
am I
and a
like
lot
the
of
Raven
tears.
Queen? Sorry, we talked double. What did you say?
I said we found Avalier and a lot of tears.
Yes.
I'm helping people to pass and cross to the afterlife.
But you can also find me over on
Raven Queen arc.
You can also find me over on Phoenix Awaki every other Friday, including this Friday. And you can find me over on Winter's Tales at the moment as part of the Castleton project, the big D&D meets Hunger Games meets Bridgerton epic thing, which is so incredible. And yeah, we're doing lots of fun stuff at Quest Junkies. We're back off a little hiatus. Come check us out, or don't. That's your choice.
No, come. It's a nice place. Also, we have a lot of one-shots coming because we had a bright week and stuff got enabled. So there's gonna be like a Feywild one-shot. Help me. Atagan will be there. So if anyone knows River has to play Atagan, I guess. I don't know. It's up to you if you want to play Atagan. And do you want to plug the Candela stuff?
Oh, yes, of course. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, so starting this Friday, Darrington Press, Critical Role are celebrating Candela Obscura Games Week. And they asked us to put on some little events. So in our community Discord over at Quest Junkies, we're going to be hosting some Candela Obscura stuff. And as announced as about 15-20 minutes ago, our wonderful game master for our Circle of Blood and Time, Scarlet Song, is going to be running a Quest Junkies Academy Candela Obscura one-shot, which is first come, first served for QJA players.
Amazing.
I would recommend it. Scarlet is an incredible GM. She will terrify you.
Yes.
First point, yes, incredible, terrify. Maybe. No, but amazing. Amazing
she will
GM.
terrify you.
Maybe.
And that's me.
Exactly. So, Sasha, say your goodbyes.
Hi, I'm Sasha. You can find me on all socials at The Weird Lobster, except on TikTok, where I'm at The Rambling Lobster, because that's what I do. I yap all day long on the app. You can also find me on every Wednesday on Quest Junkies with those guys, where I play Renee, the Aphoric Artificer, who has some connections to Laren from Avalier. It's great, and I'm not crying still over it. It's fine. Yeah.
The last episode.
Yeah, I think I've cried more in the last 2 episodes of Wildmount Chronicle than any other campaign that I've played so far.
Yeah. It was beautiful.
So yeah, you can find me there, and on my own Twitch channel once I stop putting myself in too many projects and I don't have time for my own content creation. But I'll be back one day when I chill the fuck out. I stream on Twitch sometimes. Yeah. That's it.
Amazing. Then I would say we're switching to the big camera. There we go. 3, 2, 1. Hello. Thank you for watching. This is, I think, the longest stream we have done so far. Welcome to Tales of Exandria. Next week we will have our wrap up on Thursday. We will announce it on Discord, I guess. TikTok. We are everywhere now. If you're watching this on YouTube, thanks for rewatching. And what else is there to say? I don't know. May the theories be ever in your favor. We haven't found a sign off yet. No.
Yeah.